I hereby call this meeting to order. I had to do a gentle one because I don't want to break your ears. There you go. Good morning, everybody. Andrew Barnes, good morning. Good morning, everybody. So if you're new to the Bear Nation and you're like, OMG, what's going on? Welcome. This is how the Bear Report used to be done and how the Bear Report will be done today because we have some winter weather moving in. There's already ice in the neighborhood and yeah, I'm just not going to run through any immigrations and customs checkpoints with my truck. It's just a bad idea. I don't want to have a wreck with the ice. So, not doing it. It's not so toasty and oaky. Roger that, Ryan Stewart. So, we have declared a snow day, whether we have a snow day or not. We have declared a snow day. And so I figured we'd hang out on the back porch this morning, do an old school style Bear Report. And that's what we're going to do. Cabote, good job. Bama Buckeye, bless you. Good morning. Kat, good morning. Velo, what's up, Velo? Leslie Masters is here. Cody Willis, Galactic Hobo. Phenomenal name. Good morning, Joe Blow. Our kids had a snow day yesterday. Well, you live where snow lives, but I'm glad to hear it. Paratrooper turned farmer. Interesting name. Good morning. All right, then. If I woke you up with the shofar, I apologize. Yeah. So. That's right here. Okay, so it's the 10th of February, 2021. This report says it's from 2020. It's a year old. This intel is a year old. Damn it, dance monkeys. Year-old intel. Bad actors attempted to contaminate the water supply for about only 15,000 people near Tampa, Florida. Just a handful of people. By hacking into the computer system. Once gaining control of the system, the hackers increased the sodium hydroxide, aka lye, that was being input into the water supply. The substance is usually added only in tiny amounts to control acidity in the water. A plant employee quickly alerted his employer, and the facility reversed the command with minimal consequences. Good job, plant employee. Thank you for not being asleep at the wheel. TeamViewer is what enabled the hackers to gain such control because it enables remote tech support. This is an application or a program on your systems, TeamViewer. The software is installed on 2.5 billion devices around the globe. No biggie. So this to me is just indicative that, yes, indeed, we are in the middle of World War III, but nobody's really processing this because World War III is being fought differently than World War I and II. World War I was trench warfare and artillery. World War II was island hopping and beach landings and blitzkriegs. And World War III is ones and zeros and hackers and elections and the stock market. It's a different system of warfare. So I don't know, Kat, where is that? World War III will eventually be fought like World War II, though. Potentially, Josh Lockhart. That depends on how well the digital campaign goes, says me. It could eventually turn into yes. Well, you can't really see it because, fog. But there you go, right there. We'll just say that right there. Kosher Dad, that is the most concise statement I've ever seen you make. One word, Concur? Good morning. Coal miner's daughter, God loves you. I would agree, coal miner's daughter. Look at the chat. The chat's fabulous this morning. 383 folks. We are a little early this morning. It's not 8 a.m. It's prior to 8 a.m. Central Mountain Eastern Time. Good morning, VicCast. World War III will be fought in a meme war. That's actually a good idea. I think that's a good idea. I'm okay with this. Send your best memers. We'll have a United Nations sanctioned meme octagon match. I think this is a great idea. NWA Prepper, how's it going? Thank you for the $5 bill, sir. I appreciate that. It's going. It's humid, incredibly humid for also chilly. So that's fun. Good times. All right. Black Lives Matter activists marched in D.C. over the weekend. I'm surprised. Concerning legislation continues to bubble to the surface, and censorship and ideological hostility march on. Here are some Bear Nation snapshots. From North Carolina, quote, "The ATF is in my jurisdiction right now, verifying information of legal silencer owners to include and focus on home addresses. We have one officer that owns several personally, and they were giving him a hard time about it. They requested assistance in doing several knock-and-talk verifications with said officers in our jurisdiction. Our sheriff declined and asked them all to leave." So the ATF, when you have NFA items, has the right to randomly come inspect your items at any time. Class 3 weapons, suppressors, destructive devices, anything over .50 caliber, they can come and inspect them at any time. It's one of the reasons I'm not terribly crazy about any of those things for wise. Fogged lens, yes, indeed, but also fogged everything, MC Uper. So, this feels like blurred lines-ish. They're like, we'll just go do a bunch of inspections. Wink, wink. And then that becomes the onus that gets them in the door to observe and report and perhaps even convict on myriad other things. Definitely shady. Yes. Jason Husby says, "Great sheriff. We need more constitutional sheriffs." I agree. I agree completely. However, remember that the ATF is well within its rights to come inspect your NFA items. Anything that you paid a tax stamp for, they have the right to come inspect. So how they conduct themselves during that inspection, and if the inspection is essentially the foot in the door for something else, can be a completely different matter. But they do have the right to inspect your weapons, anything that's class 3, anything that's NFA, at any of those things. They have the right to inspect those at any time. That is part of the permission you give them when you purchase those products. So I agree that the tax stamp is unconstitutional. It is also the law of the land currently. And so, like many, many, many other laws that we have, they are unconstitutional, which gets us, it's the decline of an empire. Welcome to Rome. You know, do as we say, not as we do. Will they kiss my saggy Indian ass? Hey, Kat, that's up to you. Good morning, Lee Roby. Same goes with the ham radio license. That's absolutely correct. The station location for your ham radio is on a federal database. And the station location is wherever your station is set up. So I'm not trying to sound like a dystopian novel over here, but I feel like most days we sound less like a dystopian novel than they do. Like, we're literally getting to the point of, show me your papers, please. Like, really? How about no? I'm not gonna do that. Is an AR-10 suitable replacement to an AR-15? Well, Ted, this isn't Tactical Tuesday, which we didn't do last night, which we will be doing tomorrow night. It'll be Tactical Thursday tomorrow night. But for what? As a DMR rifle? Probably. For hunting? Yes. For shooting at ranges that exceed 500 yards? Absolutely. For a patrol rifle? Probably not. It all depends on what you're trying to do. Dudley says AR-10, yes. But that's because he has an AR-10 and not an AR-15. So he's biased. He's skewed. You can't believe his reporting. He's the CNN of ARs, okay? He's the CNN of ARs. You can't believe a word he says when it comes to ARs. Andy Barnes, great point. Ammo. Ammo is twice as expensive on an AR-10 and half is available right now. All right, we're doing a report from Oklahoma, not my area of Oklahoma. From Oklahoma, was witness to an armed robbery at my local Brahms for 2 bags worth of food. The fan is blowing this way. I let him in front of me to order. He was carrying and flashed his gun to the cashier. Then he walked around the grocery and filled up his bags. Mask mandates are making things like this so much easier for criminals. Well, definitely not in my area, but that's an interesting data point because Oklahoma as a state does not have a mask mandate, but I think Tulsa and Oklahoma City and surrounding areas do have mask mandates. And then I think Tahlequah had one for a while, but Tahlequah doesn't anymore. But yeah, I would agree with that statement that let's not make it easier to rob places. The town where our office is, somebody walked in, a bad dude walked in to a local gas station and pulled a gun and pointed it at a cashier. And one of the local officers, which we have awesome officers in our town, and one of the officers was driving by, and the gas station, it's all glass. It's just floor to ceiling glass. He drives by, sees somebody point a gun at the head of the clerk, pulls around, comes in from the back of the building, comes in, draws a bead on the guy and says, "Hey, drop your weapon." Guy doesn't drop his weapon. "Hey, drop your weapon." Guy doesn't drop his weapon. He says, "I'm going to tell you one more time, drop your weapon." Guy doesn't drop the weapon, and he domes him. Lights out. "Yeah, this is Officer so-and-so. We're going to need a bus over here at the local gas station." Problem solved. And yeah, that's how they deal with that in my neck of the woods, which I'm totally cool with. Like, I don't like the fact that people are so desperate that they feel like they need to draw firearms on other people. But I do like the fact that law enforcement makes sure that everybody knows that if you do that, you're going to have a bad day. And big fan. Clean up on aisle 2. That's exactly right, Kurt. So, good morning, Seven Mighty Cedars. Okay, and from Ontario, Canada, public anger against law enforcement regarding COVID-19 lockdown procedures are also on the rise in a nearby town, and there has been multiple protests surrounding that topic. I myself visually identified this on my way home from work last Friday. Understood. Can y'all hear the sheep in the background? Those are Arctic Canadian sheep. They're complaining that it's not cold enough.
Your discount code's live.
My discount code's live? What's my discount code today?
I texted it to you.
Well, I'm on Do Not Disturb because I'm live streaming.
Oh, Cub Pro.
Cub Pro is my discount code?
Yep, all together.
Discount code. Wow. My wife just informed me that discount code Cub Pro, one word, CUBPRO, will get you 20% off a Cub Pro on the Cub Pro only. And you can use
Today only.
and you can use promo code Bear Nation for 10% off everything else. So
But you can't combine discount codes, so you have to do 2 separate checkouts.
But you can't combine discount codes, so you'll have to do 2 different checkouts, she says. This is my Cub Pro. This rides on my pack that I take like when I travel for work. So it's got your Gen 7 cat on this side and your shears on this side. And then it's a little zippy pouch. And you unzippy your zippy pouch. And then down here, you got compressed gauze for wound packing. You got a SWAT T tourniquet. There's 2 5x9 gauze pads down here. And then there's a fold flat 4-inch North American Rescue pressure dressing in here for wound packing. And then you've got your quick clot rolled gauze up here. You've got a little roll of duct tape. You've got some gloves. You've got your nasal pharyngeal airway right here. And then compact high-fin chest seals in the back. And so these kits were affordable before 20% off. That's very kind of you, wifey.
We'll show them the rip away.
Oh, well, okay. I'll show him the rip away in one moment. I know a guy. They call him the tactically Torah dude.
My favorite thing about it is
They call him the tactically Torah dude, and he has one of these mounted on the back of his headrest. And what my wife wants you to see is that it is, in fact, a rip away pouch. So you can mount this to the back of your headrest, to the bulkhead of your submarine, to your buddy's beard. I don't think my beard is robust enough to hold one of these. We'll try. Oh my gosh. Yes. Yes.
Can I rip it away?
No, thou shalt not rip it away. Yes. If your beard is hardcore, you can even mount it to your beard. Okay. So it's that's the Cub Pro. And what colors do you have in stock on these, babe?
We have all colors in stock.
We have, including the gray and the navy?
I have limited quantities of the gray and the navy.
Limited quantities of the gray and the navy, and then you've got the red, the black, the coyote, and the OD in stock. Awesome. So today only, promo code CUB20 will get you 20% off of this. That was very kind of you, babe. I appreciate that. We'll talk about that one more time before the show is over. But I figured we'd. Does that take the place of a mask for COVID purposes? It's definitely better first aid than a freaking mask is. Definitely more valuable than. Does it include a face mask? It can definitely be used as a face mask. If you have adequate beard, I can't believe that thing stuck to my face.
I can. It's probably all the leftover food in your beard that just kind of sealed the deal on it.
I think you could probably use the 4-inch fold flat pressure dressing as a face mask. You're definitely not going to breathe through it. Undocumented features. That's exactly right, Josh Lockhart. Justin Ridley, good morning. For my Barefac in the mail. Awesome quality. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for buying a first aid kit from us and then paying $5 to tell us that it's awesome. Thank you very much, brother. Yeah, this is short-term food storage here, babe. That's what the beard is. It's for apocalyptic reasons. This spell check is killing me. Morning, Justin. So I want to talk to y'all in the chat. It's been a while since we've had the opportunity to just hang out here on YouTube because just the way the algorithms have been working. We do something very similar to this, Tuesdays and Thursdays on Patreon called Coffee Time with Bear, where we kind of just hang out and check in on each other and talk about the events of the world. And it's a much more laid back thing. And I wanted to talk with y'all here on YouTube today because it definitely feels like, to me, I'm a little over the politicking and the world events right now. And I think that's in large part manufactured. I think that's intentional. That's why you create noise in the signals so that people stop tuning in. So now they're not paying attention and you can do whatever you want to do. I'm just curious where y'all are at. Are you over it? you still interested? Like, tell me in the chat. I'm over it. Or, no, I'm still paying attention. Back to basics. Yeah, man.
I mean, the 700-ish people that are here are obviously paying attention still.
Yeah. Cassie, good morning, Cassie. Shalom, sister. Been over it. Nope. Over it. Over it. Good morning, Vicky. Shalom, sister. Over it. So over it. Nope. I dig this. Good morning. Over it. Still paying attention. Over it. Not over it. Over it. I'm tired of their games. Over it. Over it. Over it. Over the top. Over it. Over it. I've been over it. Over it. Over it. I'm not paying attention. Paying attention, Arizona. Okay. So you nailed it, but I'm still paying attention. Yeah. Weary of it. Yeah. In between, in moderation, pay attention. I'm still pissed. I'm still pissed too. I just don't know what to do about it, which is what I've been really trying to figure out. I've got half a mind to just print out the lines of effort from the World Economic Forum and break them down one by one and be like, okay, agree or disagree with this line of effort. If I agree, leave it alone. If I disagree, what do we do about it? And just, I'm going to have to make the Bearistan Manifesto, I guess. Over it. Tuck point 2, morning. Over it. I wish I could pay attention. I'm still leaning on yeah. That's a really good answer. Velo, good morning.
Oh, can I also mention?
What can you also mention?
That regardless of what they order, we're running a 1 week lead time.
Why don't you come tell them that? Ulfidnar tribesmen, shalom, brother. The Ulfidnar tribesmen. Everybody, hold on. We need a slow clap for the Ulfidnar tribesmen. If I don't get clap emojis in the chat right now, I'm going to be pissed. I'm going to shut this down. Slow clap for the Ulfidnar tribesmen.
You're all foggy. They can't even see you.
You're all foggy.
Hang on.
Hold on. No, we're not doing anything until I get my slow clap for the Ulfidnar tribesmen. There it is. There it is. All right.
Oh, I think it's like in there.
I'm aware. I've done this once or twice.
Oh. Yeah, blow it.
Bless you all, Bear Nation. Thank you. Look at all them clap hands. Now jazz fingers.
Okay.
No, just kidding. No jazz fingers.
Can I talk now?
I suppose you can talk.
Okay.
Speak, woman.
Shut your face. We are finally, I have been waiting for this day since we started packing Bear Facts.
What, 10 months ago?
Yeah. And, or since we opened the store. And we are finally current.
Woo!
Yeah. I'm running a week lead time, and that's just to give us enough time that if we get an onslaught of orders that we're not going to be disappointing anybody.
Shalom, brother Tommy.
But I'm not going to pack it today or tomorrow because we got ice, but you will get packed and shipped within a week.
That's awesome. So 1 week lead time on all kits?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
The ones that, and adventure kits, I got bags. So we have a limited supply of adventure kits back in stock. So you can actually get a bag with your order. You don't have to just order the guts.
Nice.
Anymore. Yeah.
Nice.
And that's all I got.
Good job, babe.
Thanks.
For your bonus, I'm going to get you 2 bags of groceries from Brahms that I didn't pay for, that I just robbed. Mark O'Connor, bless you. Mad Kelt, shaloha, bro. All right. Let's see. Can I buy via snail mail? I would email admin@Bear Independent and ask that question. Still paying attention and keeping my guard up. Okay. Over it, but I pay attention because I don't trust them. Alex Miller, I don't know if I did or didn't. Is that an acid cigar? Yes, it is. It's an acid deep dish. How's the sheep doing? Discount code not working. CUBPRO. CUB. Oh, hold on. CUBPRO. It's only on the Cub Pro, and you can't combine discount codes. So let's see. If I go ..., let's see. Do we want the Bear Independent? BAR independent.com. Oh, hello, and they're very welcoming to you. You come to the store, and please click on this kit right here. Store. Yes, thank you so much for the store. But this is the best store right here. I will click. What is it that I am wanting? Cub Pro kit. Okay. And I click this link right here, and I go to the chat, and I do this, and I do Control V, and I spam in my chat. I put in there so much is spam. Spam is an unclean, bloody swine. We don't be liking it. And I hit the add to cart button, and I view on cart. And at view on cart, what is this? Is that I doing? How do I do this? And I go to checkout. And at checkout, I hit the button. Contacting information. Oh, okay. So I put the discount code, apply, Cub Pro, apply. Oh, it applied, no problem. CUBPRO. CUBPRO. That's like one of those metal people from the wars, the stars, that they fly around in the planes, they shoot the lasers. CUBPRO. This is easy. I did it. It works good. You do at checkout. Checkout. You do it at the checkout. Sycamona chicken. Thank you, Sycamona chicken. Sycamona chicken. That's your name, Sycamona chicken. Who are you sicking on my chickens? Yes, hello, Carfed and Hawkeye Wabina. I'm for calling you today to talk to you about your vehicle's extended warranty. Our records show that your truck has 473,000 miles, and for the low price of $1 bazillion, I can get you excellent warranty. Just need Amex phone number and social security number and shipping address. All right. Cassie got that call yesterday. Well, Cassie, you know, YouTube hasn't really been working out for me, so I've had to revert to selling extended car warranties to people. So I apologize if I called you yesterday. Galactic Hobo, peace out. Do you take travelers checks? Yes, but only American Express travelers checks. So if we are collectively over it, and I'm trying to pay attention because it's in part my job and because in part it matters, and I really don't. I understand how the fog of war works. I understand why there's so much noise out there. All that noise out there so that we don't pay attention. And so knowing that, I try and pay attention even though I just don't want to hear it right now. Acknowledging that, knowing that. What the hell are we supposed to talk about then, Bear Nation? Are we just going to do coffee time with Bear 5 days a week now? Just screw the Bear Report for a while and just do some coffee time with Bear?
Maybe.
What do you think? What do y'all think?
Bless you, Joshua Morris.
Bless you, Joshua Morris, says my wife. I don't know what that means, but
I told you he's a good customer.
Joshua Morris is a good customer. Thank you so much. I'm pleased to be for thanking you, Joshua Morris. You are not a bloody rascal. You're a good man.
Mommy made gummy bears.
Mommy made gummy bears.
They would be special gummy bears.
We can't talk about what we need to talk about.
Special gummy bears.
Whoa. Jay Morris, bless you. Thank you. Java, Java, Java.
Chicken pot pie, my 3 favorite things. I gotta find that shirt.
Keep the report. Guns, exclamation point. You want me to talk about guns? Talk about, I just did a Taurus G3 review on Patreon yesterday. Prepping, threat matrix once a week, coffee time twice a week. Well, I already do coffee time twice a week on. Oh, you're saying do the threat matrix once per week. Jay Morris, bless you. And then do coffee time the other 2 days.
Somebody said you can talk about firearm training with no ammunition.
Firearms training with no ammunition. Step 1, get more ammunition. Step 2, dry fire. Wood? You want to talk about wood? Well, well, Mark O'Connor, my favorite type of wood for heating is probably oak. Red oak and white oak. My favorite wood for cooking is American cherry. I like mountain ash for firewood as well because it splits nice and clean, but it can be confused with tulip poplar, which also burns nice and hot and clean, but doesn't split nearly as well. And they both get about the same size. Now, if we're talking about cabinetry, I don't want none of that knotty alder bull crap. And I do like working with walnut, but it's expensive. So if I have to do something like a beech for a paint grade, I'll do that. I used to like poplar, but poplar's hard to get. And then when you get into the heartwood, it gets all green and gray and weird looking and so forth and so on. Let's see. For doing slab work, I like hickory and pecan. That's good stuff. And all of your fall pieces are great for smoking briskets on. What else do we need to know about wood? Ground contact pressure rated for your sill plates when you're framing a house. Other than that, dimensional 2x4s, 2x6s are probably going to be number 2 pine.
Do you want to tell them our thought on a special show?
Our thought on a special show. Yeah, why don't you just come over here?
Because I'm not.
You're presentable. It's foggy. I look like Obi-Wan Kenobi. Look, see?
Are an Obi-Wan.
I am an Obi-Wan Bernobi.
Right.
I really don't. I can barely tell the difference between Star Trek and Star Wars, and I know that that's like sacrilegious to all the nerds out there, but I don't know.
Your subs. They're like, what? He doesn't know the difference.
Cooper Oman, that's for you.
One uses a lightsaber, right?
Yes.
One use.
I think a phaser or some kind of like space ray gun thing.
Right.
Do you know, Mike? I don't know. Question mark? Swords are Star Wars. Laser swords are Star Wars. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. What were you going to say?
We were thinking about doing a entrepreneur. I can't say it.
Entrepreneur.
Yeah. Live stream where anyone that has questions regarding small business or starting a business or running a business, we would basically open up a Q&A session that anyone interested could ask us questions on our thoughts, how we've done it,
Liberty
our
Off-Road's
experience. And so what do you think? Would
Liberty,
y'all like to do something like that?
Liberty Off-Road likes the idea.
I know we got a bunch of small business owners.
Gray Mouse likes the idea. Loomph. Good morning, Loomph. Life on our Micro Farm.
Yeah.
Yeah. We know them. I don't know if you know that that's their
Because
name,
we've
but
done
we
a
know
few
them.
businesses. Like
We've done a few businesses.
Yeah. I had my own construction business.
Yes. Sign me up. Okay.
Before this, we've helped plenty of other businesses that we did not necessarily own.
I do a fair amount of business consulting.
Yes.
Even today, that's part of one of the hats that I wear. And I'm not saying that I've got all the moves and know everything.
Mon said no new business today, please. No, Mon, we're not going to start any new businesses. We're going to help other people start new businesses.
Now, next week is a whole nother story. I might get a few ideas between now and then, but
Yeah.
yeah.
So if you guys are interested, we're still trying to figure out like what day.
Do you want to do that tomorrow night?
What's tomorrow?
We were going to do tactical Tuesday on Thursday.
Right.
But we could just do entrepreneurship Thursday, whatever. Small business Thursday.
Okay.
Tomorrow. You like the idea of that?
Side hustle Thursdays.
Side hustle Thursdays.
Open up Barazon.
Barazon. You guys like that idea? We'll do that tomorrow night, about 7 p.m. Central.
Right.
I'm embracing Loomp. That's my brand now. I'm glad. Yes, sounds great. All right, well, Tactical Business Thursday.
Right, we're down.
There we go. That's what we're going to do tomorrow night then. I'll get a copyright strike if I do that Liberty Off-Road. Side Hustle Thursday.
So we'll do it tomorrow. It'll be normal live stream time. So what, 7?
7 Central.
Yeah.
How about hooking up with like-minded singles? Well, Tammy?
What's the website?
Preppersonly.com.
Right. It's not actually.
It's not actually, but it. Monica.
I think we own it. I think we own that domain, but.
Tammy, I'm going to tell you what I've told ladies who have asked me this question for the last 3 years. How do I meet a like-minded man? We men can be helpless to the wiles of women. You have more horsepower when it comes to attracting a mate than we do. You got all those curvy jiggly parts that we're all on board with. So go fishing, ma'am. Go fishing. But also understand like attracts like. So if you're looking for somebody who's spiritual, go to the spiritual places. If you're looking for somebody who's tactical, go to the tactical places. Like step 1 is like know your mark. What are you looking for? Not wild, just know. I got an older brother, but he's so strong and independent that I haven't seen him in a decade. I've talked to him on the phone a few times, but
Hillbilly Homesteader says, "What's up, Tammy?" He's single, so.
What's up, Tammy? Hillbilly Homesteader. There you go.
Uh-huh.
She's looking for Mark. Yeah, she's looking for Mark. I didn't know this was like Bear's Love Connection. We need more business principles applied to dating. Well, you know, David, that's an interesting question or comment because I think part of it is understanding what is your ideal end state? What do you want? What are you looking to achieve?
Yeah.
If you don't know what you're trying to achieve, guaranteed you're not going to achieve it.
Mm-hmm.
Like nothing happens by accident. Like I think that's a primary thing that people miss in all facets of life is like, we're just hoping that something's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Well, hope's not a strategy. It's strategy. Things don't just happen.
Yeah. Jay John says he's single and possesses quality bacon. Jay Johns, I have plans for you.
Yeah.
Don't go be getting hooked up with nobody.
Yeah, Grandpa. And I mean that in the best possible sense. We've all, yeah.
My
Jay
mom
Johns,
is also single.
We've planned the next 40 years of your life. I will trade you my dog for the next 40 years of your life. Sound good? No DT pass. The lens is not dirty. It's foggy because it's both humid
it's like
and cold.
Condensation inside the lens.
Small business Q&A will happen tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Can we get a Bear Nation Yellow Pages? Don't go chasing waterfalls. Please stick to the rivers and the lakes that you're used to, Daniel Kirkland. I know that you want it your way or nothing at all, but I think you're moving too fast. Listen to me. I don't know what you're talking about.
That's awesome, Dan. Glad you got it.
What's up, Tommy Salter? Hi, Tater. You want to be famous for a moment? He's like, no, I want to be warm.
He's like, only if you let me stick my balls in your face again.
Not again.
That was so funny.
Stay.
Be a potato.
Be Tater. Stop having independent thoughts and ideas.
Single sin pick a chainsaw.
Wait, are you starting an internship? Negative. That I did not say.
No.
February 21st, Jews are calling for worldwide prayer for Mashiach. Thoughts? Interesting concept. I already talked to Mashiach daily, so if they want to pray to him too, that's cool. But his name was Yeshua of Nazareth, son of Joseph, Messiah ben David and Messiah ben Joseph, out of the root of Yishai of Jesse. And he performed signs and wonders and was murdered, crucified, and hung upon a stake, and rose from the dead 3 days later and ministered to the early church for 40 days before he ascended into heaven. And then the Ruach HaKodesh, the Holy Spirit, the Spirit of truth, descended like flames of fire upon the early church when on the feast of Shavuot, now rebranded as Pentecost under the Roman Catholic Church. Yeah, I talk to him daily. Isn't that right, Tater?
Mm-hmm.
Let's hear Bears 2021 predictions. No. Trying to keep it lighthearted this morning. Let's see. Hello from the snowy Northeast. Hello, Pam.
Look at this, y'all.
What is
Can y'all
that?
see that?
What is that?
That is a picture of all of our pouches ready for pickup.
Awesome.
Isn't that a beautiful sight?
That is a beautiful sight right there. That is a beautiful sight. Very organized. I
Yes.
definitely was not involved in that. Mad Kelt needs a chaperone. That's a full-time gig. Well, that's fine. You can bring Mad Kelt with you. He can be Uncle Mad Kelt. He already is Uncle Mad Kelt. Just get here. What part of what? Just get here.
What is Harmony's page name? My YouTube,
Mm-hmm.
I think. Well, now I probably actually have enough subs I could change my actual name. But Dudley, post all my links, please.
It's Homie Biscuits.
Well, I don't think it's actually, it's my old married name.
Nice.
Which,
Any thoughts on when the stock market is going to take a dip down? I've heard people saying, there's a dude on Breitbart that was saying in the next 45 to 60 days collapse. But I don't know that. Is 3,000 rounds enough? Probably.
right? Depends on where you are. You're in a metro area with 6 million people, probably not. If you're in BFE with 400 people, then yeah, probably.
Well, the other thing to understand with 6,000 rounds or 3,000 rounds or whatever is, if you're shooting 3,000 rounds, let's say you've established firepower superiority, that still means that there's 1,500 rounds coming back at you. If you are going to shoot 3,000 rounds, and I'm not saying you don't, but if you're going to shoot 3,000 rounds and you don't have one of these,
yeah,
or one of these,
yeah,
in a metro area, if you don't have a blowout kit, any blowout kit, but one of these, no.
mm-hmm.
You got to understand that for every round we expel in a firefight, there's one coming back at us. And we can, speed, surprise, and violence of action will handle a lot of that, but it doesn't handle all of that. Good people get shot all the time. And I think that's something that people honestly don't think about because it's uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
And so people tend to focus on the things that they have and the skills that they have, and then hope kind of fills those gaps. Like, well, I just hope I don't get shot. Well, hope's not a strategy.
Right.
So I'm wearing my Carhartt chore coat. Thank you, Gordon from the APN. And I've got a cat tourniquet in my Carhartt right here. Oh, did we just get shot in the left arm? All right, I guess we just got shot in the left arm. Fine.
Yep, I shot you.
You shot me. That was not very nice of you, woman.
I think you need to have the jacket off. Like, does
No.
it work? Or does
You can go on over the clothing.
You can?
Yeah.
You just have to, like, make sure it's extra tight?
Yeah.
Or what?
Yeah.
So it really compresses that vein against the
Yeah. There it is. Woohoo! With the cold fingers. I do not have a pulse. I most definitely do not have a pulse. Yes, it does work. It does work over the coat. Nunya beeswax. Oh my gosh, my arm is already made of wood.
You gotta make the face.
I did make the face. I professionally make the face all the time. I teach other people how to make the face.
Can't believe Mom's actually in chat. You never hear Mom.
It's a snow day.
I know. Tell us about the zebu. They're cold. Like everything else. No, they're good. We did actually have like a weird thing, and I've never had cows, so I don't really know about it, and Google isn't much of a help. But one of our cows, and I don't know how it happened, but like she had little bitty horns, like 2-3 inch horns. And so on one side of her head, one day, probably 2 months ago, I noticed she had a bunch of blood coming from her horn. Well, she had basically like rammed her horn back into her head. And so there was that. We blue coated it. Internet said basically the only thing you could do for it was to pull it back out. And
thank you, Jay
they're
Morris.
like semi-feral cows, and we don't have the head shoots and all that stuff yet.
Semi-feral cows.
So I'm like, that's a no-go. We'll blue coat it, see what happens. Well, then probably 2 weeks ago, I go out there and the other horn has broken, but it was like it was hollow and there's horn underneath it. And
it got pushed in.
It didn't get pushed in, it got broke off.
Oh, right.
But the part that broke looked hollow inside, and then there's still like a little horn nub sticking up out of her head, because the broken part has since fallen off. So I'm like, I don't know. Like, I don't know if it's a nutritional deficiency or what. So if anybody has cows with horns that...
Somebody said put a paste of turmeric on it.
Okay.
Son of God said that.
But yeah, so she seems okay. Her horn's fine, the one that broke off. And
oh, is the doc in town? What's up, Doc? What's up, Dr. Trevor?
Yeah, I don't, not with cows. I mean, like elk lose their horns every year. But cows, I don't think lose their horns. I mean, no,
their horns, not antlers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I thought they were like solid. I didn't think it was like a hollow thing.
Can also be a mineral deficiency.
Okay.
I see here, so everyone is canceling appointments. So here I am. Me too. That's where we are today.
Yeah.
They closed a couple of the highways last night due to ice, and in about an hour or so, there's supposed to be some more snow coming down out of the sky. So we just declared a snow day. So here we are. I sound like my buddy Nick that I met at the men's retreat. He's a pretty cool guy, you know. I hope you're out there, Nick. You're doing the things out there on your tractor. I hope you're okay, buddy. All right, then. I mean, I made it to work because I'm smarter. I'm not smart enough not to. Well, you're there. Oh, I hear rainage. What was that? Precipitation.
Well, it fell off. I didn't peel it off. It just fell off.
I see here in Southwest Missouri too. Yep. Yeah, this whole kind of like Ozarks and Ozark Light area
right
is just got the Yeah. I'm telling you what, I think
Wait.
that
Oh.
I think this is how we're going to do the report for the now. For the now.
Yeah.
I'll probably do one a week. Maybe Monday will be the big official report. Go in and do one a week on Monday, and do the threat matrix, do the news from over the weekend, and then we'll stick with this for the time being, because I do miss fellowshipping with y'all, Bear Nation. Like, I do miss hanging out with y'all on YouTube, and it's gosh, I don't want to get into how much Todd at YouTube has robbed me of my joy on many days, but it's when you see your stuff being throttled back and the algorithm no longer touches it, and just because it's like an open rejection of you being you. It's like if you thought you had a friend and you built a relationship with your friend for 3 years, and then you find out they secretly never liked you in the first place. They were just using you to earn money. You're like, wait a minute.
Right.
So, yeah. So,
Ugh.
Yankee Watchdog, good morning.
Yeah, I mean, we've got some subs up north, like in Montana, and they are expecting like what did I say? Like negative 30 by like Thursday, Friday. I'm like, holy cow! Like that is cold.
That
That's
that
like
statement
Arctic.
just ends with negative. They're expecting negative.
Negative
No.
30. And
I was offered the opportunity one time to go put wind turbines at the North Pole for the U.S. Geological Survey, or Service rather. And so we were in the pre-planning phase, which is critical. Pre-planning, if you make it out of pre-planning into planning, then you know you got something going. I never made it out of pre-planning. I was like, man, how do we got to do this? Well, everything they do up there, they run a station, at least one station that I'm aware of up there, or at least at the time they did, all run on number 2 diesel fuel. And they fly in like a C-17 or a C-130 at the time, full of diesel fuel every day, just to keep the generators running. And they're like, it's really windy up here. If we could get some wind turbines, maybe we can make some power. Maybe. It's also like negative 40. And they go, well, you can't be outside longer than 15 minutes or you will get frostbite and then die of exposure. Like, and you want to put up wind turbines? And they're like, yeah, and everything you bring has to be able to fit inside of a cargo plane. I'm like, have you seen a wind turbine? I'm like, that ain't going to happen. Yeah, it's like
the little Home Depot ones.
Yeah,
there.
it's like, yes, they do come in pieces, but even the small ones, getting those pieces on a cargo plane. And then the crux of the issue, I was like, look, I'm going to need a good bit of heavy equipment, like flying in heavy equipment. And there are big cargo planes that can haul, you know, a couple of tanks, for example. So if I needed to bring in heavy equipment, we could do that. But they go, yeah, you need to start it before, start it on the ground before you launch the plane. Make sure it runs, get it warm, fly there, and it's going to cool down when you get there. Then the moment you get there, fire it up, walk it off the plane, and never turn it off again. It just sits there running nonstop. Because if you turn it off again, it won't start again because it's negative 40 degrees. And I'm like, no wonder you guys need a cargo jet full of freaking fuel every day. You never turn anything off. So, yeah.
Jim Morris, you're cracking me up.
So I passed on the winter. I don't know if there's turbines now at the North Pole.
Redesign the turbine.
Well, that's the other thing. The ice sheeting on the blades, you'd be throwing giant ice katana knives at people. You know, it's bad news. If you turn me off, I won't start again, technically. That sounds like a limbic system problem, Dr. Trevor. And the good news there is it's not you. You just have a limbic system problem. I learned this from a guy one time. It's like 15 milliseconds for the limbic system rather than 50 milliseconds for the frontal cortex.
Somebody says they have a negative 39 wind chill in
No,
North Dakota this morning.
I'm telling you, Bear Nation family reunion, South Padre Island in Texas. Let's go. Let's go. If you can dodge ice, you can dodge a dodgeball.
What's your favorite EDC carry knife?
Ontario Rat One Folder is my current rock star.
Yeah, I don't have on pants. Or I have pants.
On pants.
I don't have on my jeans that
Damn
have
it,
my
honey,
knife.
this is a family show.
I don't have on my jeans that have my knife on it.
Somebody asked me to do a pocket dump. I'll pocket dump my my coat. So let's see. In this pocket, my front left pocket, I have a Gen 7 cat tourniquet. I have some paperwork that is stuff that I got to shoot videos on. Oh no, this is for a kit that I'm working on. I have one half of the thing that holds the phone to the tripod, and I don't know where the other half is. But if I find the other half, I have this bottom half, and there's a cigar wrapper stuck inside of it. And I have...
Oh, Devin, you hush.
2/3 of one Tums. So that'll be helpful. Oh, I have this little thing. I love this little knife. It's a little razor knife, and it has a bottle opener on it, and a flat blade screwdriver, and a Phillips screwdriver. I love that thing. My front right pocket, I have some receipts from the feed store.
Yeah, and your Sharpie.
A Sharpie. A blood type patch, because I need to stick it on some tactical gear, and I haven't worn any tactical gear lately.
Bless you, Jay Morris.
Thank you, Jay Morris. And a chainsaw bar tool, aka Scrench.
We have like 30 of those.
Yeah. Oh, I found some more Tums. Lots of Tums.
You have all the Tums.
Yeah, I carry those Tums, man. They're kind of like Tums Pebbles at this point. They've been riding around in the pocket for a while. They're angular, no longer round. So, but that, hey, listen, they'll get the job done. In this pocket, I have a butane lighter for cigars, and I have a cigar cutter for cigars, as well as a Bic lighter, because #survival bro. Let's see what else is in this pocket. Nothing in that pocket. Do I have anything in this pocket? Yes. I have a Refuge Medical patch. I don't know why, but I have a Refuge Medical patch.
His Refuge Medical is awesome.
Yeah. Oh, I have a $100 bill that I was supposed to give Dudley. Dudley, I owe you $100. A $100 bill. And I have some business cards from people that I'm not going to show you on camera, because just not appropriate. And I have 2 1.25" T25 Torx bit screws. I don't know why, but they're there.
Yo, I have a jar.
What's that?
Rebuild civilization.
To rebuild civilization.
I have a jar in our laundry room for basically all the, I call it my pocket treasure. And when I started this, I was hoping to find money. But no, I find drill bits. I find screws. I find Tums and washed receipts.
Tums don't do so well in the washing machine either.
No.
By the way.
No.
So if you've ever wondered, hey, should I wash this handful of Tums? No, you should not. And then inside pocket in here, I have some cash. And then inside pocket in here,
yes,
I have a SOG folder that Jay Johns' new wife, aka my mother-in-law,
my mama,
got for me. For the stabby pokey things. Mostly what I do with this knife, honestly, is I come out to the grill and I open packages of beef bacon with it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I grill beef bacon. It's, yeah. this knife has a good life. So that's mostly what I do with this knife. And then I have a pen, a Uniball 0.7 ink pen. I'm an ink pen guy.
Yeah, I washed those too.
They're clean.
Glock 316, yes. Discount code Cub Pro will work all day for the 20% off Cub Pros.
And then I have a clipper lighter in here that Brother DR gave me, and it's inside my jacket. It stays warm next to my body. I have another clipper lighter. Apparently, I have 4 lighters in this jacket. I will make a fire when the world ends. Oh, and then I have a
Somebody said, you know, you're balling hard when you have a dedicated beef bacon knife.
and I have
That's awesome.
I have a 1 ounce silver round that one of you on the Bear Nation gave me that has DJT 45 on it right there. So might need to buy my way through a roadblock or something with that. And I don't even know what's on this piece of paper. I put it in my pocket because it was important, apparently. And
I am not searching any of his cavities, y'all.
I know what this is. This is the recipe for some excellent hardtack that was at the men's retreat. So now I got to reload all my pockets and a Glock 19 and a reload. But I can't show those on camera because YouTube. You're not allowed to show firearms on camera anymore because somebody could be triggered. I guess, yeah, triggered by the simple presentation of a firearm. So, but it's a Glock 19 in flat dark earth with a TLR 7 on it, with 147 grain jacketed hollow points. So
he is like a gumball machine. Very true.
I'm like a gumball machine? What do you mean?
You don't know what you're gonna get.
I'm like the claw machine.
Yeah.
You think you're gonna get the Glock, but instead you get some old Tums.
Right.
Oh man. I traded all my challenge coins for beer. Yep, that happens.
I'm pretty sure I see a firearm anyways.
No. That's a sculpture. That's modern art. That's a commentary on the totalitarian fascist state of the world that we find ourselves in these days. That is an art installation, sir.
Bear, were you a combat medic? Just wondering because you know so much about the IFAC.
I appreciate that. I was not a combat medic. I was not a combat anything. I was not in the military. I worked quite a bit with those wonderful folks in a job that I used to have when I was in the energy sector because I knew things about the power grid that they wanted to know. And there's a lot of that public-private partnership, or what they call subject matter experts, where if the DoD or any of the elements within the DoD need to know something, they find somebody that knows it and they say, hey, come tell us things. And you're like, okay, I'll come tell you things. Or we're going to come to you and you're going to tell us things. And then if you do that well and they want to continue a relationship with you, they do. And so that was the extent of my involvement with things like that. But I've always been big on learning. And when there's something I'm passionate about, I learn a lot about it. And then I built these kits off of my own specifications based upon the knowledge and experience that I've had. And then I farmed these, before the kit was ever available for sale, I farmed these kits out to a bunch of people that know their stuff. And they were like, oh yeah, this is good, but I would do this. I would add that. I would do this. I would yada, yada, yada. And so when I say designed and refined with U.S. Special Forces, that's exactly right, because that's how I did it.
Yeah, because we're on Gen, what, 2.5?
Gen 2.5, yep. So, whoa, chickens, whoa. But I've done a lot of research on this stuff. I've done a lot of hands-on with this stuff, and I've done a lot of work with people who, you know, if you look at somebody like a special forces medic, they know how to do everything from, you know, dome somebody to fix all the combat, you know, battlefield medical issues, to deliver babies, to trim the hooves on a goat, to whatever. Like they know all of that. And so when you get with somebody like that and they go, hey man, this is the best kit I've ever seen, it's like, ooh, thank you. That's quite a compliment. So
Sean Penrod, question: I purchased my Bearfac in early January. How soon should I receive my Bearfac? Well, seeing that I am currently at, I think, February 2nd or 3rd, it should have shipped. So I will look up your order.
she's going to look up your order, Sean. Roosters don't like the cold.
As long as your real name is Sean.
So you're saying I should be a special forces medic. Sam, it's a good thing to aspire towards. It's a good thing to aspire towards. How does one ensure they are grafted in? Asking for a friend. Me, and go to temple on the Sabbath and learn Torah. What temple? Well, right now the temple is in here. That's per the book of Hebrews. And so I would go here and do the things. And so I would...
All of my Seans have shipped. So.
All of my Seans have shipped. So I would refer said friend to the crux of the issue, which is in Hebrews chapter 8. And rather than me pontificating, I will just read to you straight from the word. Hebrews 8 verse 6. But now he, Yeshua, Jesus the Christ, the Messiah, has obtained a more excellent service, inasmuch as he is also mediator of a better covenant, which was constituted on better promises. For if that first covenant had been found faultless, then no place would have been sought for a second. See, we're not under that old covenant. We're under the new covenant. Cool. I wonder what that new covenant is. What was the issue with the first covenant? For finding fault with them, he says, see, the days are coming, says Yahweh your Elohim, the Lord your God, when I shall conclude with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah a renewed covenant, not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day when I took them by the hand to lead them out of the land of Egypt, of Mitzrayim, because they did not continue in my covenant, and I disregarded them, says Yahweh, the Lord. So they, Israel, didn't continue doing what the Father told them to do. He got pissed about it after a couple thousand years of trying to steward them, and he disregarded them. Oh, by the way, the idea of a renewed covenant or a new covenant comes from the Old Testament, the prophets, Jeremiah 31, verses 31 through 34. And so back to Hebrews 10, because this is the covenant that I shall make with the house of Israel after those days. And notice it doesn't say the house of the Mormons or the Pentecostals or the Baptists or the Catholics or the Presbyterians or the Lutherans or the Methodists or the non-denominational evangelicals, because this is the covenant that I shall make with the house of Israel after those days, says Yahweh, giving my laws in their mind, and I shall write them on their hearts, and I shall be their Elohim, and I shall be their God, and they shall be my people. And they shall teach each one his neighbor and each one his brother, saying, know Yahweh, know the Lord, because they shall all know me, from the least of them to the greatest of them, because I shall forgive their unrighteousness and their sins and their lawlessness I shall no longer remember. And by saying renewed, he has made the first covenant old. That old covenant that didn't have Yeshua, that didn't have Jesus as the mediator. Now what becomes old and growing aged is near disappearing. Correct. And so we have Yeshua as a mediator, the go-between in between us and the Father. We have Jesus as the go-between in between us and the Father. And the condition of the renewed covenant is that the Father's laws are in our mind and written on our hearts, and then he will be our Elohim, and we will be his people. And he shall forgive our unrighteousness, and our sins and our lawlessness he will no longer remember. That's biblically word for word what it says in the Bible in the New Testament at the crux of the issue for what the renewed covenant looks like. So that's where I would point your friend to. Long butter. Yum.
Not yum.
Yum. I am on a project to move to Alberta. I'm saving money to buy a van, cheap one, repair, installation, etc. See you, friends. I appreciate your presence in my life. Ma'am CB, Quebec. Okay. Vincent,
Shalom,
praise
Tommy.
Yah indeed. Shalom, Tommy.
Tommy,
Be
are
safe.
you going to do recipes for the bear?
Nazio. That's not how you pronounce that word?
Yeah. So we do. We have
Bless you, Panda Bear.
some
Thank you.
plans in the works. Like there's a 7 meals prep cookbook. There's a tactical chicken cookbook that's in the works.
We have a whole big thing coming.
But the thing of it is we have a bunch of other stuff going on as well. So when exactly that's going to come to full fruition, I do not know.
We're gonna
But-
tease it here. We have an actual book coming. It's
Yeah.
in the outline stages right now, and you can really thank I get no credit for this. I have zero to do with it. You can really thank Sister Renee, and then Hami and Monica as well.
When there's, I mean, one of the subs did the artwork.
Yep.
Like
Yep.
it's
But-
going to be cool. Like,
but
it
The
looks really
the
funny.
concept of the book, and it will include. Well, I'll tell you the concept, then I'll tell you what it'll include. The concept of the book is food storage and how to cook with it.
Yeah.
Okay. And so when you open the book, on the left-hand side pages are going to be, for example, corn. What corn to store, how to store it. We put it in buckets. Here's how we put it in buckets. We buy it from this place. This is what we do with it. And the right-hand side of it will be recipes for corn, cornmeal, masa, tamales,
Right.
corn tortillas, corn chowder, creamed corn, so forth and so on. Cornbread, right? From scratch, cornbread. Next chapter, wheat. This is the wheat that we buy. This is how we bucket it. This is how we store it. This is how we use it. These are the grinders that we use. Let's make yeast rolls. Let's make flour. Let's make flatbread or matzah, yada, yada, yada. With high quality pictures will be in there.
Mhm.
So forth and so on. And then the concept of the 7 meals
And
plan.
like how to do the nixtamalization.
Nixtamalization, correct. We are down for a drum solo. Hey, all I'm going to say is pay attention on Patreon.
Mm-hmm.
Pay attention on
Anybody's
Patreon.
going to see the drums, it would be Patreon.
So back to the book. In there, Sister Renee came up with this plan, and it's an awesome one. It's called 52 Weeks to 1 Year. And can I pre-order? Low-key performance, it doesn't exist yet, but the
Right.
moment it exists, yes, you can.
It's just a bunch of thoughts and
Well, the
some
outline is
basic
being
outline.
worked on now. It will include the 52 weeks to 1 year plan. And what that means is if you need to get a year's worth of food, here's how you break out the purchases of everything you need to get a year's worth of food per week. So week 1, buy 5 buckets. Week 2, get 10 Mylar bags and 2 oxygen absorbers. Week 3, get XYZ. And that way, if you're on a weekly or a monthly budget, you can see what you need to set aside for each week or each month. Is the title Bucket List. That's a great name. Bucket List. I like that. I need a year's worth of coffee. Tell me about it. I'm a coffee aficionado. Recently, my wife was like, I think we're out of coffee. I was like, no, we're out of the coffee you know about. Hold on. We are never out of coffee. If you ever see on like Fox News or CNN, rural Eastern Oklahoma man goes on coffee binge, 19 wounded. That was me. That was me. Like, just know that was me.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyway, so that book is in the works right now, but it is a massive effort to create a book. And it's a collaborative effort for us because we've got Hami and Monica and Renee working on the outline and the body. We're going to have multiple pictures to take. We're going to actually have to cook every recipe that's in there.
Right.
When we cook we
Make
have
it look appealing.
yeah, we have to do everything that's in there. And so that's also going to dovetail into a video series of us actually doing those things of like, how do you grind wheat into flour? To me, it's a no-brainer. You put the wheat in the grinder and you turn the handle and then flour comes out, and then you sift the flour, you know, and you got flour. But for somebody that's never done that, it's, you know, can be a bit overwhelming, a bit intimidating. So
Mark O'Connor, I am not perfect.
you're perfect for me.
Bless you. Thank you. Well, he said you have the perfect wife.
I know, I
sidekick.
saw it.
Yeah. We make a good team. I mean, for almost 10 years, we have been by each other's side pretty much 24/7. We work together, we cry together, we love together, and so
attack life.
And we've been through a lot of shit together, like a lot of really trying, deep trying times together. So, you know, it just made us stronger. Like, there's been a couple of points that like we've been really mad at each other. But our love always prevails.
The cool thing is, with all of that, one of my key takeaways with my wife is, if you think you're attacking me, what you don't realize, if you think you're attacking me, what you don't realize is my wife is maneuvering on you. For real. Like, I have learned this about my wife. It's like, yeah, I hate the phrase battle buddy, but yeah. Like, you think you're attacking me. Really what you're doing is not focusing on the fact that my wife is maneuvering on you.
Right.
I've seen it physically and metaphorically throughout the last decade. And yeah, she'll smoke your ass. Yep.
Or anything else that's trying to get my honey.
Yep. And likewise, about the dumbest thing you could ever do, ever.
We can't. It's in the lens.
Yeah, it's in the lens. We know. It's because of the ambient temperature and the conditions.
Cold. Yeah.
About the dumbest thing you could do is pose a threat to my wife or my family. That is guaranteed. You're going to see a side of me that you don't want to see.
Right.
And you're only going to see that side very briefly. Yes, you do, corn-fed, and she's awesome.
The fog is for OPSEC. Yes.
Yep.
We're blurring our faces.
The names and faces have been changed to protect the innocent.
How do I sew bare patches on hoodies?
With a sewing machine?
Yeah. Pretty much. Our patches come with the
There you go,
loop,
Doc.
But, or no, with the hook. But you could get a
The
loop.
Yeah, you can order just the loop off of anywhere, off the interwebs.
Right. And cut it to fit on your bare patch, and then sew the loop onto whatever garment you were wanting, and then just stick a patch on it.
Amen, Sister Vicky. That's right. And if it's and that's a really good point. If it's an issue that me and my wife can't solve, me and my wife and my camp can. And if me and my wife and my camp can't solve, me and my wife and my camp and my tribe can. And if me and my wife and my camp and my tribe can't, me and my wife and our camp and our tribe and all of our friends and our mutual assistance groups can. And it's just, the circles just keeping getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And then it's really one of those, oh shit moments. It's like, yeah, you picked a fight with what you thought was with one person, and it turns out it's a lot more than one person. And I think that there's going to be more of that going forward. Somebody asked me about my thoughts on what comes in 2021. I think tribalism, and Pastor, this is not a new concept. Our pastor's been talking about this for a decade. But I believe it. Because I'm experiencing it. I don't believe it just because he says it. I believe it because I'm experiencing it. Tribalism is on the upswing as the macro becomes less and less stable and believable, and people lose faith in the big systems. People start to look for and or build the small systems on the micro. and people plug in with like-minded people. Well, it's a different cost-benefit analysis when instead of interacting with one person, you're interacting with a lot of people. It's a completely different cost-benefit analysis.
Get the fuck off me, cat.
Whoa, language.
Sorry.
What happened?
He just bit me.
He bit you?
Yeah.
Well, kill him.
No, stop.
This is a paintball gun, Todd.
Hey, he bit me. I get to shoot him. Oh, he ran away.
Tribalism is being labeled as domestic terrorism right now.
Sorry for that.
That's why I'm happy to announce that I'm a member of the Antifa tribe.
Sorry for the F-bomb. That hurt.
Amen, Jay Johns. Start building those systems now. Paintball marker. Thank you, Loki Performance. You are correct. Vulgar display of gunpowder. Yup. Everything is terrorism now.
On TT.
Yes, Marty, you caught me. I'm really Antifa. This whole time, it's just been nothing but a ploy. I've been pretending to be a fiscally conservative libertarian who's really concerned about personal liberties for the last 3 years on the internet, just so that I could reveal my purple hair. Oh, wait, there's none there. My bad. Save potato, Michael. He's just sitting by. He's like, nah, I'm not getting involved in this fight. CIA plant. CIAT FBI. You got it wrong.
Right.
It's the CIAT FBI.
I couldn't picture Bear in skinny jeans. Bear will never fit in skinny jeans. Like, ever, y'all. Like, his thigh is the size of my waist. He could fit a calf in a pair of skinny jeans, but that's about as far up as they're gonna get.
I have some pretty stout legs. Ew, Marty, you know you liked it.
No, they don't make skinny jeans for bears.
Gene S, praise the Father. Awesome. They don't make skinny jeans for bears. No, they don't.
Right. They shouldn't make skinny jeans for men in general.
I agree.
I don't know how you fit all your package in there.
I was just gonna say, where do you put your balls, homie?
Right,
Like, what's up with
crack?
this? Like,
Do you tuck them? You tuck them all the way inside?
catastrophe. Oh, Hartfield, I know that. But I'm caring less these days. G-rated kids. Well, Matthew Brady, listen, I generally run a PG-13 show, generally speaking. My wife's here, so it's R-rated today.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, and I actually catch a decent amount of flack about that from people because they're like, how can you read the Bible and smoke cigars and say bad words and drink whiskey? I'm like, easy. I'm a person. I'm a human being. I'm never going to be Hilda people with a white coat up on a stage in front of thousands of people because I think that's absolute bullcrap. And I also think it's absolute bullcrap for people to put on a facade to have well, when I'm doing YouTube, I have to act this way. But when I'm not doing YouTube, I actually act this way. No, you get me. And if you ever, any one of you catches me putting up a facade, I better hear from you. You better call me out on it. Hey, Bear, you're playing now. I'm not here to play. I don't want to play the game. If I wanted to play the game, this channel would be completely different. I'd have 1 million subs already. You know, I'd do unboxing videos, and I'd probably go, you know, restore a rusty knife and get 1 million views on a video. Like, there's lots of ways to build an audience on YouTube without necessarily being me. I'm not interested in that. I would, this is the 4 quarters philosophy. I would much rather have 4 quarters than 100 pennies. I'd much rather have 4 people that want to be here and appreciate me for who I am than have 100 people that are just a little bit bought in, and I've got to be fake in order to get those 100 people. I'm not interested in that at all. And I also have known my whole life, but have really learned it on YouTube. I'm a very polarizing person. Just like I don't have a gray area, people don't really have a gray area with me. You either literally develop websites about how I'm a false prophet and leading people to hell. That's a thing. Go Google Bear Independent. That's a thing. Or you love me and you're a part of the Bear Nation. Like, there's very little in between. Like, you either think I'm Satan incarnate or you're like, yeah, I like that guy. He's a good dude. Cool. So YouTube bear is the bear you get. Amen, Jay Johns. Damn it, Dudley.
That's what a bear in skinny jeans looks like.
Oh, man. Thanks, Dudley. That was great. I've witnessed this. Tactically Torah. Amen. I can't trust a man who doesn't curse. There you go. Marty, you're welcome. You loved it. But yeah, I'm not interested in over policing my personality for the fame, fortune, and approval of many people. You know, I can show you in this word where it says, be not conformed to the world. Copy. Been a sub since Squid and Bear times. Amen, Luther G. Bless you. Squid and Bear. That was way back in the day.
I know. I was wearing my Ish shirt the other day.
Yes, you were. Yes, you were. You'll do. Thanks, Freight Car Mark. Thanks. Thanks, Freight Car. Freight Car Mark, he's always just really... He's a glimmer of hope, you know. He's like that one ray of sunshine that shines down in between the clouds. That beam of sunshine hits you, and you're like, "Oh, I feel good." And he goes, "You'll do." I'm like, thanks, man." Oh, Chad, don't wreck. I remember the Squid and Bear times back before I was known as Grim on this weird platform. Amen.
People pleasing is not a Bear Nation characteristic. Very true.
I saw that, and I agree. I agree, Earl's daughter. I've seen Bear wade down to a creek to do a baptism in his underwear. No hooves or tail were observed. Thank you, Jay Johns. I appreciate that. Well, yeah, I had to trim the horns and tuck the tail, and the hooves was those were actually rubber prosthetic feet that I was wearing.
Why was his name Squid?
Oh, simple. He was in the Navy. Squid. Rock Broadway, bless you. Thank you. Phoebe Wyatt, been over it. I agree. Tactical Homestead, what's up? Action Jackson. I'm actually a Sagittarius, so I guess that, yes, I do have cloven hooves if you go with that freaking pagan shenaniganry. Half man, half horse. That's right.
I'm still not going to eat you.
Montana Sky, bless you. Thank you. Oh, Alex, whatever. It's all good. Listen, we get like 1,500 emails a day, and so Monica will see it and we'll send it. AJ fam, what's up? Thank you. Bless you. I have a G21 waiting for you if you're ever in California. I didn't read that part, and I don't know what you're talking about.
Right.
Major winks, nudges, bro. Appreciate it.
Do we need to purchase stuff for Tennessee? No. I mean, can if you want to, but no. So the training class in Nashville that's coming up, we are going to provide you with the TCCC
Tactical Combat Casualty Care
resupply kit or training resupply kit. So in that kit, you're going to get training chest seals, right? A trainer tourniquet, trainer combat gauze, EDTs.
That's pressure dressing,
combat gauze, eye shield,
compressed gauze, decompression needle, tape, gloves, all that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. So that kit is included in the cost of the class. It's like
15 is the
yeah,
retail.
I was gonna say $110, $115 kit. And the stuff in it is labeled or is colored blue for the most part. But everything except for the combat gauze is legit.
Albert,
right?
get the Bearfac. You can get it from refugemedical.com or bearindependent.com. It's honestly, I've had people who their job is to save people's lives in combat pick that kit up and go, this is the best individual first aid kit I've ever seen. Carl from Tactical Rifleman said this kit is better than my kit.
Yeah.
Many other special forces types have run that kit, are running that kit, have had rave reviews of that kit. Air Force Pararescuemen, which are the special forces that rescue special forces when special forces get in a jam. We sent a couple to those guys, and they wrote back and they're like, these are awesome. How do we get more of them? Yeah, the Bearfac is, in my humble opinion, hands down the best kit on the market. So
yeah. So so yeah, you're gonna get, for your $350 for the class, you get $115 worth of equipment to take home with you, so that you can continue training and train others that you care about after you've attended the class. And that is March 7th. Currently, we were running a second day, but
we did have a bunch. We had 2 classes on the Monday after that Sunday, but nobody had signed up for the Monday classes.
and we're getting close to
So we
cutoff.
just dropped the Monday classes because there's nobody in them anyway. And then, you know, if demand increases, that's fine. We can
right.
always
You'll
add a
buy all
class.
the
But
March 7th spots. We'll think
Jeff,
about
bless
adding
you.
another day, but
how close to the East Coast would you come? Oh, Tennessee is about close enough. So Sean Williams, amen. And so here's the deal too. When you keep the TCCC trainer kit, the idea behind that is twofold. The first reason is I've taken a lot of these classes, and I hate the fact that when I walk into the class, anybody else's class, I walk into the class and I've got my IFAC with me, and it's good to go, squared away, ready to roll IFAC. And by the end of the class, now what I have is a bunch of expended medical equipment, and I have to go, and this is how they get you. You can buy all the replacement stuff that you just tore out of your kit at the back of the room on the table. So you can get another tourniquet, you can get more chest seals, you can get more compressed gauze. So they're selling you the stuff at the back of the room or outside the classroom to replace all the stuff that you just destroyed out of your perfectly good blowout kit. So now I don't have a blowout kit anymore. I don't have an IFAC. I have a bunch of used medical equipment, and my IFAC isn't good to go. And so I either have to buy more from you while I'm there or order more of it online from somewhere. And in the meanwhile, my kit is no longer good to go. So what happens if I need it right now? I hate that concept. Yes, we do have kits and components for sale at our classes, but you don't need to buy them because you don't destroy your personal individual first aid kit, because we include the TCCC trainer kit so that you have an actual trainer kit to use during the class so that you don't destroy your own IFAC. And then The second reason that we do that is for force multiplication, because I understand not everybody has the money or the time to come to one of these classes, but especially if you're on your church security team, or you work at a small business, or you're part of a mutual assistance group, or your community watch, or whatever, your local militia, whatever it may be. Send 1 or 2 people to the class, get the trainer kits, go through the training. And I tell people all the time, hey, you need to take this information back to your people. You need to be able to do this well enough so that when you get back to your people, you can instruct your people with your trainer kits that you keep as part of the price that you paid for force multiplication. You can go back into your neck of the woods and bring this training back to your people. And one would argue, or could argue, that that's a bad business strategy, because instead of training 20 people, I'm training 2 people to go train 20 people. Mm-hmm. That's fine. That's fine. I'm cool with that. I like that. And so it's a force multiplication thing as well. So that's why we include the trainer kits in our cost for the class. And frankly, our $350 class is commensurate with what a lot of other people are charging for the same class, or the same type of class. I would submit that our class is excellent, but the same type of class for the same price. But anybody else who's charging you $350 isn't including the training materials. Yeah, there'll be training materials there for you to use, but they're not yours. You don't get to take them home with you when you leave, and you're going to destroy your IFAC while you're there. So you no longer have an IFAC. So you're spending the same amount of money. You don't get a trainer kit, and you have a destroyed IFAC. Negative. So
there is not a promo code for the TCCC class, or for the Stop the Bleed class, and that's because
we've got fixed costs on those.
We don't make a lot of money off of those classes, but we do have promo code Cub Pro right now.
Amen, Action Jackson.
For 20% off.
20% off the Cub kit.
The Cub Pro kit. Cub Pro.
Cub Pro kit.
Not the regular Cub.
Are you going to show them what's in it?
No, you can.
You don't want to explain it to them?
No, you can.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Somebody asked how you stage your tourniquet.
I'm going to show them that in 1 minute.
Okay.
All right.
And I'm going to get some more coffee. I'll be right back.
You might want to get Mike a blanket or something.
I know.
Or turn the heater off.
Yes. FSA. Y'all use your FSA.
Yeah. You can use
HSA.
Your HSA and your FSA for these. This is the Cub kit. It's in an EMT ripaway pouch. Okay. So it does this. You can mount it to your headrest, to your molly kit, your gun belt, the bulkhead of your submarine, whatever you prefer. Okay. So it's got a Gen 7 cat tourniquet on this side, on the outside, pre-staged, ready to deploy. It's got your shears on this side of the kit. These are 7 1/4-inch North American Rescue emergency trauma shears, real shears. And then you unzip the pouch.
On training, Renee.
What?
She said you could use your FSA and HSA on training.
Oh, you can't use it on training. You can use it on kits. And then inside of here, you've got your SWAT T tourniquet. It's a tourniquet also for making pressure dressings in combination with the 5x9 gauze pads that are right back here, quantity 2 of them. You've got compressed gauze for wound packing in conjunction with the North American Rescue fold flat 4-inch trauma dressing that's back here in the back of the kit right here. So for arterial bleeds in the extremities, we've got a cat tourniquet and a SWAT T for wound packing. We've got compressed gauze. We've got our fold flat trauma dressing and our quick clot roll gauze right here. For airway, we've got a nasal pharyngeal airway right here, size 28 French. For respiratory, we've got our high fin chest seals back here, 2 of them, compact. And then you've got your gloves and you've got your duct tape right here. So, and I get a lot of questions. People are like, well, so what's the difference between the Cub and the bare minimum? Well, the bare minimum is an American produced pouch. It's part of our flagship line, the Bearfac and the bare minimum. They're handmade, made in America, guaranteed forever. And then you also get, with those kits, you get decompression needles. And That's because a lot of these kits end up in the hands of military and law enforcement, but it's the same exact kit that we sell to military and law enforcement that we sell to y'all. So, and this one you can add, and probably should add at checkout, your combat gauze for wound packing. And this has it's a different pouch, handmade, made in America. Look at the stitching. It's phenomenal. It's absolutely phenomenal. Handmade, made in America, guaranteed forever. And then this one, you got your surgical tape here, 6-inch pressure dressing. And then there's your decompression needle right there for tension pneumothorax. Your gloves, your cat tourniquet. And I highly recommend that you have, this is not your primary tourniquet if you're running this in a tactical environment. In a tactical environment, you should have at least one tourniquet that you can get to with either hand anywhere on your body in any situation. This is your secondary tourniquet. And then you have your shears down here, and your airway is down here, and your 5x9 gauze pads are down here, and then your high-fin chest seals, 2 of them full size, are down here as well. And all of that folds up. Like I said, you got your combat gauze on the top right there. All that folds up inside of this pouch. And the whole idea, the reason I came up with this concept in the first place was I hate those bungee pouches that the Army used to issue, where it's like bungee corded to the side of you. Well, no, I want it in my hands where I can see it. I pop it and lay it out, and everything I need is right there. I can see it. I can work with it. I can identify at a moment's notice, where's my stuff? What do I need? And I can use it to save a life. And 13 lives have been saved with the bare fac and the bare minimum in the last year, which is absolutely awesome. They've been saved from everywhere from motor vehicle wrecks to IED amputations to stab wounds to, I mean, it just, pick a scenario, they've worked. They've saved a life. And the bare minimum was designed specifically by me for my line gear, for my war belt, for my chest, for my plate carrier, because it's that big. Okay, it's that big. So it's a minimum size but maximum capability. And then the bare fac goes even further than this. The bare fac has a lot of stuff in it. So hey, Mouse House, hey. So yeah, as my wife was saying, on the Cub Pro today only, you can use promo code Cub Pro to get 20% off that kit, which is absolutely awesome. But that's not a normal hand, bud. Yeah, remember that. Half man, half horse. But anyway, yeah, and you can use and should use, y'all can use and should use promo code Bear Nation any day of the week, whenever. It's an automatic 10% off everything. And that works both at bearindependent.com and refugemedical.com. So I can cover the bare fac with my hand. Good job, Jay Morris. See, Jay Morris knows about the big hands. Hmm. 13 to date. M, how many lives have been saved by the IFAC to date? 13 to date that we know of. Those are the people that have written back to us and said, hey, I've used your kit to save a life. And I would add this: if you use our kit to treat an injury or save a life, please let us know. Not only do we want to know that our stuff is out there in the world, that it's saving people's lives, that it's helping people, that we're having a positive impact on the world, but also I will replace whatever you used out of that kit. If you used the tourniquet and the pressure dressing and your combat gauze, cool. You know what you're going to get in the mail for free from Bear? A tourniquet and a pressure dressing and your combat gauze replaced. Now, we do require a little bit of documentation. Take a picture, send me a news article, whatever. I just want to know that it was used to save a life or treat an injury. And if it was, I got you. And one toe. 13 lives in one toe. That's exactly right. So, but we want our stuff out there in the world saving lives. That's our mission statement is very simple: to save lives while in service to the Father's kingdom and experiencing the abundance of his provision and blessing. And so if you use one of our kits to treat an injury or save a life, let me know. Email us, admin@Bear Independent, or you can go to the contact page at Bear Independent or Refuge Medical. Let us know. Is that for civilians only? No, it's not for civilians only. It's for law enforcement, EMS, firefighters, military, public safety, civilian sheepdogs.
There's been a lot of people from Panama City, Florida buying kits.
Been a lot of people from Panama City, Florida buying kits, huh?
I think we might have Lee to thank for that.
I think we might have Lee to thank for that. Well, that's awesome.
Has it ever been used to save the life of a chicken?
No, I have an overabundance of chickens. We don't save their lives. All right, somebody asked me, how do I stage a tourniquet? So I'm going to show you how I stage a tourniquet. When you get the tourniquet, so this is a Gen 7 cat. This is one of many of mine. Rides around in my pocket. So it has this red tab on the end, and that's so that visually you can see the end of the tourniquet to grab it. And it would normally be folded over like that. The problem with that is this can be difficult to get going. So instead, take the end and fold it over like that, okay? So that makes a big tab that I can grab without having to think about it, okay? And watch this. If I put the tourniquet on, high and tight is the rule. Put the tourniquet on and I grab that tab and pull, instant deployment, okay? So that's why we want this folded over on the end, okay? So fold that end over. And then what I do is I pull out. I want to keep this sized appropriately, ideally, so it'll go over a leg without having to mess with it. And I fold this down like so. Okay, so now I've got a loop with my tab hanging. And then this is what I would consider the bottom of the tourniquet. Pull up. Okay. The reason for this is smooth and this is not. This is Velcro hook right here. And then fold over like that. So that if you pull this out one-handed, you can shake it out and you've got a nice loop ready to go. If you don't do that, what can happen is the loop sticks to the loop like that and it won't go. That happens and that's a problem. We want to be able to deploy these and apply these with one hand. There's two primary considerations for a tourniquet to be Council on TCCC approved, or I'm sorry, Committee on TCCC approved. TCCC being Tactical Combat Casualty Care. The first is it has to be a minimum of 1.5 inches wide. Okay, minimum of 1.5 inches wide. The next is it has to be able to be applied with one hand. So when it's staged like that, like I just showed you, you can shake it out. Now I've got a loop. I'm using just this one hand. Put it over the extremity, high and tight. Keep the windlass, this is called a windlass, in your work area. You don't want it back here where you can't get at it. Keep it in your work area. Right here I can get at it. High and tight, pull. And now this part's critical. You want to pre-tension this strap with as much tension as you can. Take the slack out of it. You're going to wrap it around the back like so until it's almost to these retention clips. Okay? Then you're going to turn the windlass and it's going to hurt. I like to tell people it's one full turn past MFer. And if you don't make this face, you didn't do it right. Okay? You put the windlass inside the C-clip like so. You pull the tail through the C-clip like so, and then you put the retention tab over the top. The reason we pull the tab through and then retention tab over the top is because we don't want this to come loose when we move the casualty. the reason we don't want this to come loose when we move the casualties, because when it comes loose, we no longer have a tourniquet. And 100% chance, what's that?
Free
TCCC training today only. The reason that we secure this is because there's a 100% chance we move the casualty. I am not going to tourniquet you and leave you there. You're going to end up on a four-wheeler, in a pickup truck, in an ambulance, on a helicopter, on a boat. We're moving you because you just got shot, stabbed, blown up. We're not staying here. We're not staying where you got shot, stabbed, blown up. Okay, we're moving you. And so if you have a tourniquet that has a proclivity to loosen when the casualty is moved, i.e. the RATS tourniquet, which, by the way, was never TCCC approved. They lied about that. It's not 1.5 inches wide. It cannot be easily applied with one hand. They just lied. And it loosens when you move the casualty. Then you don't have a tourniquet. A loose tourniquet is not a tourniquet. The way this works is the internal band inside of here, when you turn that windlass, constricts down on the muscle, and inside your muscle, there's a major artery that runs through here, and it compresses the artery against the bone structure. That's why you can tourniquet on extremities, because you have bone structure in your arms and your legs. Well, as that blood vessel is constricted against the bone, it stops the flow of blood completely, which is good, because if you have a major bleed, an arterial bleed, you're losing so much blood so fast that if we don't stop it ASAP, you will die. And if you've never seen arterial bleeding is the type of bleeding that when you look at it, you go, oh shit, it's that much blood. It's that much blood. It's a lot of blood really fast. You can lose half your volume of blood in 45 seconds. It's that much blood, okay? So if this isn't tight, or if it loosens, we no longer have a tourniquet. Now we're bleeding all over the place again. So that's why we want to police this tab, so that when we're moving you, it doesn't come loose. Because, watch this. Even with the windlass secured, even with this thing tight, and it's tight, if I pull this off, watch what happens. See that? No more tourniquet. So we don't want it to come loose. We don't want it to lose its constriction at all, because if that happens, we don't have a tourniquet. So one of the many things that one learns at the 4-hour and 8-hour classes that we do at refugemedical.com. We need a jingle. Get not dead with refugemedical.com. How to not die with bear. So that's how I stow a tourniquet. Can you tourniquet a jellyfish? I've never tried. Do you pee on it before or after you tourniquet it? How does that work? Mouse house, I like that.
Yeah, we have a bunch of mouses.
We got many mouses in the houses today.
Yeah, many mouses in the houses.
My goodness. Almost a 2-hour live stream this morning. Denton Acres, what's going on?
What happens when Hami's on?
Now staged and ready. Thank you. Yes, I'm sure that it was your presence, babe.
It's cold.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't got much else to do.
Good morning, Whiskey Charlie.
When should you replace a tourniquet?
When it shows signs of wear and tear. You should, when the edges start to fray, stitching comes loose. If the hook and loop is no longer connecting to itself, that's a big deal. They do have everything that has an NSN number, which is a national stock number, which allows it to be purchased with less red tape by the federal government and the DOD, has a shelf life, because that's how the government works. And so tourniquets, for example, have like a 5-year shelf life. A new tourniquet in the package, or a new tourniquet unused that's not exposed to the elements or sunlight, is going to be good essentially forever. Instructor Eric, who's our lead instructor, has had the same 4 blue cat tourniquets for like a decade that he instructs with regularly, and they still work fine. So yeah, when you think, if you look at it and go, hey, I don't know, probably time to replace it. But and also after use, that's another thing to understand, is that they're not designed to be reusable. There's gonna be blood all over a tourniquet if you ever have to use it. So you don't want to like have to repo your tourniquet off a casualty and reuse it. You got shot in the left arm 500 times. If you're getting shot in the left arm 500 times, we have bigger issues. Like, your tactics suck. Our tactics suck.
Danny Jackson's here.
Danny Jackson, what's up? Mums Z400. I love the 2 IFAC kits I purchased from you. Bless you. Thank you.
If I'm shot and bleeding out,
Andy
give the
Fetter,
expired
bless you.
one a try.
Yep. So, yeah. Cross-country trip today. Zachary Roberts, bless you.
Yeah. Be safe going across the country. Lots of cold, lots of ice, lots of snow.
G-Ness, bless
safe.
you. I just got home from the crazy place.
Oh,
Well,
no.
I don't know what the crazy place is.
Yeah.
Juan Papi, bless you. I have like an overwhelming urge to go work, and it's like, yeah, but there's ice out there and snow day.
I know. I gotta let the UPS man know we're not there.
My wife has a relationship with the UPS man. We're gonna have to talk about this. She's all like, I gotta text XYZ name, and I'm like, who the hell is this XYZ name? She's like, the UPS guy. What are you doing? You're on a first name basis with the UPS guy? But they do come here and puke half of their truck in our driveway or our loading dock every day. So the hospital in OKC. Roger that, Danny Jackson. It's the brown shorts. You're right. How cold is it there, Bear? It's
only 30.
Yeah, but it's high humidity.
Yeah. And it's cold. I mean, it's cold. It's not negative 30 or 40 like some states are experiencing. But
whitewater crafting, Roger. Oh, you know what? We need to do the silver linings from the brief.
Oh, do silver linings.
Silver linings. After my wife and I prayed for months for the Lord to provide for us to find other Bible-believing, preparedness-minded people in our community, we happened across a local Bear National in a grocery store parking lot, identified by unmistakable Bear logo on vehicle. They connected with this person and joined the local preparedness network. Quote, thank the Lord for answered prayers, and thank you, KC, for acting on your conviction to start a preparedness community. Amen. And another viewer said, one man's parents in their 80s observed his preparations and asked questions about it. Today they've joined in. Quote, mom and dad are currently stacking it and packing it. The phrase I used is handles on it and wheels under it. Everyone already has stuff. Think about what you need, get it all together, and bag it up. Not a big deal. Mom and dad both have 3-day bags at the ready, and they have some freeze-dried foods in addition to the normal pantry stocks. The best thing is they are thinking about the stuff and the things. Every time I see them, I ask, what's next? For Christmas, Mom had me order Dad a bare minimum kit for his go bag. Yesterday, he showed me his brand new K-bar for his bag. He was so proud of it. They are thankful for me getting them started. Thank you, Bear, for the inspiration, guidance, and intel. That's awesome. Good job, 80-year-old parents. Good job. That's awesome.
Somebody said, Luke Steigler said, going to close on a house, and my wife just told me that I'm assuming she's pregnant.
Wow.
So, congratulations.
Wow. Congratulations.
Spring's coming, y'all. Time for all the babies.
Yep. Thank you, Bert. So we get this question a lot. I saw it in the chat. What do elders and the less physically able do in a preparedness scenario?
What? Are you asking me a question?
Or what can they bring to a group? Well, my mom is not very physically able at all. Doctors told my mom 22 years ago she had a year to live. So step one, just because the doctor says you have a year to live doesn't mean you need to believe it. Step two, well, she's not physically able. My mom is not going to run and gun with us. Like, that's not happening. But you know what she's really good at? She's really good at getting my toddler to sit down next to her and shell beans. That's cool, right? Cooking, cleaning, washing the dishes, things like that. Sewing. My mom is a hell of a seamstress, like a hell of a seamstress. She's very good at it, and she brings a lot to the table. We get asked a lot about security requirements, and people are like, "Well, I got a rifle and I know how to use it." And I'm telling you, security is incredibly important, but at least in our group, it's commoditized because everybody has a rifle. Everybody knows how to use it. It's no longer special. It just is. It's just part of how we do things. It's a cool. You got a rifle? Me too. There's one there. I'm never far away from a rifle, ever. Nor is anybody else, and everybody knows how to run them. And so we espouse the militant farmer concept, meaning that you got to be able to grow food, you got to be able to protect food, and you got to be able to protect the people that are going to eat the food that you're growing. And so I like to say that everybody needs to know how to work a shovel and a rifle. And I mean that, but not everybody can. Not everybody can necessarily work a shovel. But you know what? You can scrub the potatoes. You know, I've had people say, "Bear, I'm in a wheelchair. What can I do?" We're going to roll you right up next to the preparation table. You're going to roll yourself there, and we're going to sit around and chat while we all skin these potatoes or shuck this corn or grind this wheat or sew this thing back up or help us pressure can, dip all the, swab all the lids for the cans with apple cider vinegar, whatever. And here's the thing to understand. This is such a cliche term nowadays, and I hate the fact that it's cliche, but it's true for us. We don't see color and we don't see disability. I don't care. If you're a good person, awesome. If you're not a good person, not awesome. It's so much more about what your heart condition is, like what is the condition of your heart? Do you want to be here and do you want to help? And what kind of person are you? What kind of morals and ethics and values do you have? Than it is, are you a 6'3", 245-pound gunnery sergeant who, runs the 40 in, 4 seconds flat and knows how to run a 240 Lima? It's like, that's cool. Those are all useful things. Go plant potatoes. No, well, I'm a security only. No, you're not. Nobody is security only. It's about the disposition of your heart. And we ask 3 questions regularly to folks that are here or want to be here. The first is, do you want to be here? And there's a lot to that. Do you want to be here? Because it's way different. Wanting to be here is way different than you not wanting to be where you are. Those are two vastly different things, because we're not a lifeboat. This isn't about handouts over here. I'm not trying to make a way for somebody else, but I am trying to be in fellowship with people that are trying to make a way for themselves. Those are two very different things. So do you actually want to be here, or are you just trying to not be where you're at? Because I'm no man's hero. I'll put it that way. And we have a real life, real existence over here. Of people that want to be here, that want to be a part of what we're doing. The next is, do you want to be in covenant with us? A covenant is an agreement between two or more parties. And we live our lives a very specific way. For better or worse, we are enmeshed. We see each other a lot. We do a lot of things together. We pool and share resources. We function as a community, and not a kumbaya, my lord, sitting around the fire strumming on the acoustic guitar community. We get shit done because there's shit that needs to get done. So do you want to be in covenant with us? Will you hold yourself to the same level of accountability that we currently hold ourselves? Will you call me on my BS and allow me to call you on your BS? And then the last is, can you be in covenant with us? Are you physically capable, mentally capable, emotionally and spiritually capable of doing that? And if you answer no to any of those questions, it's a no-go. It doesn't mean you're a bad person. It doesn't mean I'm a bad person. It just means it's a no-go. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. Ain't going to work. And you can answer yes to all three of those questions, whether you're black or you're white or you're red or you're yellow or you're a boy or you're a girl or you're in a wheelchair or you walk on crutches or you got bad knees or you've got 4 bad vertebrae in your back or you've got a heart, condition or whatever. I don't care. I don't care. And I learned this a long time ago. First of all, we don't recruit, period. I don't chase people. I'm not recruiting anybody. Made that mistake once, not going to do it again. We don't recruit people. And we don't recruit on skill set, because we can teach skill set. Mm-hmm. I can't teach you heart set. I can't teach you mindset. Maybe a little bit if you're already willing to be here, if you can already answer yes to the big 3 questions. Do you want to be here? Do you want to be in covenant with us? Can you be in covenant with us? Are you capable of being in covenant with us? If you can answer yes to those 3 things, skill set is vitally important. Would I love to have a trauma nurse and a trauma surgeon in the camp? Absolutely, that'd be great. But not if they don't want to be here, because that's going to create more problems than it solves. Mm-hmm. So what do people do that are less physically capable or elderly? The same things that we're already doing. There's incredible value in having 80 years of wisdom at your fingertips. Grandma, my wife's grandma, lives right up that hill over there. My kids hang out with her regularly. We hang out with her regularly. Sometimes when we're having a bad day, we just go sit in front of grandma's wood stove with her and BS. Because I'm telling you, grandma's seen some stuff. We've not seen bad times like grandma's seen bad times. And she has the best damn garden out of all of us. She's 82 years old. And you know what she does? Kicks everybody's ass in the garden. You know why? Because she's been gardening for 70 years. She knows a thing or two. So it's not about, well, I don't know. She's 80 years old. I don't think I want them in the crew. It's like, no, she's definitely in the crew. And she has a lot of life experience. And she's seen a lot of things. And she understands stoicism. People talk all the time about food boredom and prepping. It's like, yeah, you should go sit down and talk to grandma and let her tell you the story about one winter where her and all of her brothers and sisters and her mom and her dad in a 1-room cabin ate nothing but black-eyed peas all winter.
8 children.
8 children.
And 2
2 adults in a 1-room cabin ate black-eyed peas all winter because that's all they had. You know what? She's still alive. She's still here. She made it through it. Now, do I want to eat black-eyed peas all winter? No. Praise the Father that we have lots of variety available to us at our fingertips right now. But they made it. They did it. So, you know, go bring your complaints to grandma and see how they stack up. Right?
Yeah. I mean, she's all the time telling me that I can't do something. Like if I go to like pick something up, she's like, "Oh, honey, you don't need to do that. Here, let me get it." I'm like, Grandma.
I'm less than half your age,
Right.
Grandma. Yeah.
Let me. I will do it. And oh no, you're gonna hurt yourself. Well, if I hurt myself, then you're definitely gonna hurt yourself. But that's just her mindset is that she can do it. And there's been a couple of times that she has overdone it and she has hurt herself. So we're hoping that those experiences have made her learn some. But
and that woman can make something out of nothing.
Oh yeah.
Whether it's food or gardens or enclosures or whatever. I mean, for a while, she was collecting all these little rocks about the size of my fist. Like, Grandma, what are you doing?
Every day she'd go up in the woods and take her wagon with her, and she'd come back down with a little wagon full of rocks.
And then you know what she did? She got out and she's got a little little grandma shed, and she paved a walkway with all those rocks out in front of it. I was like, that is cool. But I don't know how many weeks she was collecting rocks, just looking for good rocks. And then one day, boom, paved a walkway with rocks. And like something out of nothing.
Yeah, she found like an old metal like vent grill, like with the little slats on it. And she's like, "Oh, I'm gonna turn this into something." And it's
acid
like
deep dish, Danny.
Part of like it's like the gate for her compost area. And I mean, all the time she's like, "Oh, I see an old tire over there. Can I have that?" And like, "Sure, Grandma, go for it." "Oh, you guys have some wood cutoffs behind the barn. Can I have those?" And she'll make a little flower bed.
And it doesn't look junky redneck hillbilly either.
Yeah, she makes it look really nice. So, you talk about like upcycling and recycling of materials, and old people know how to do that because they had to do that. They didn't have, I mean, her particular age group grew up during the Great Depression. So they did not have the money to go out and buy a new shovel if a shovel broke. Like they had to figure out how to make what they had keep working for them.
Tamsin Rose, bless you. Yeah, she's very what's that old saying? Use it up, wear it out, make it do or do without. That's her. And it's a great reminder. I mean, like when we put the fence up around her garden, I said, "Grandma, I've got like some pieces of old fence. It's kind of rusty, and I've got some T-posts, and I can go get you some new corner posts, or I can make some with the chainsaw." And she goes, "I want it to look old.
Right.
I don't want it to look new."
Rustic.
Yeah. She's like, "I want it to look rustic." It's like, okay. So we did. And you know what? She loves it. She doesn't want the new shiny metal and the new T-posts. And yeah. So getting back to the whole, what do I do if I'm, elderly, which should be worn as a badge of honor. Hey, you made it this far, right? There's a whole idea to being an elder. It means you have wisdom. You've seen a part of the path that I haven't seen before. I might need to lean on you for that, right? So what do we do with our elderly and our physically infirm? Love them, include them, rejoice in them, make them a part of your life. Like, I think a lot of people have this concept of like dystopian prepper novel for our future. and that these people aren't going to make it. Well, not on their own, they're not, but newsflash, neither are you, neither am I. I'm not going to make it on my own.
Right.
You run the numbers long enough and the single individual does not survive. There's a reason people coalesce into groups. There's a reason why tribes of people have existed from the dawn of time, because the survival rate for an individual within a group is much higher than an individual by themselves. It's the same reason we pass on our genetics, we pass on our DNA. So, you know, your mitochondrial DNA, as long as you continue to reproduce, is essentially immortal. It just keeps going, right? And so, without getting into the spiritual implications of that, yeah, yeah, without getting into the spiritual implications of that, it just keeps going. But I'm telling you, groups of people, a good group requires strong individuals, which sounds like Army intelligence or jumbo shrimp, right? But strong individuals find their sense of purpose within a good group. So it's this beautiful push-pull, this wonderful dichotomy of individualism and tribalism that allows the perpetuation of society, of our DNA, the raising of our children, and our, you know, the knowledge that you pass down. That knowledge lives forever. You know, one of our prized possessions here on property is a double bit batwing axe that my wife's grandmother's father,
My great
granddaddy, used to feed his family with as a logger. That like speaks to my heart. I'm like, hell yeah. I'll hold that axe and I could just feel like 100 years of provision, protection, and blessing just in that one thing. I'm like, all right, this is cool. Great granddaddy's axe that he fed his family with. Like, that's awesome. It's almost like in the Middle Ages when they would pass a sword down from one king to the next. You know, and if you look at biblically what a king was not somebody living in a tower somewhere. A king was a righteous man, blamelessly walking in the commands that protected and provided for the people within his care. That's what a king did. And that's what I'm trying to encourage you all to do, is to do that, to form those meaningful relationships so that as the world continues to get screwy, we have the ability to act, not be acted upon. We can be proactive, not reactive. We get a say in the matter because we don't have to go stand in the bread lines. So,
yeah, somebody said we have a society today that dumps the elderly in homes when they cannot fend for themselves by themselves anymore. And that's one thing that breaks my heart. And I swore would never happen to my grandma. And it won't. Like, I don't care if she gets to the point that she can't wipe her own butt. Not gonna happen.
yep.
You know, I think parents spend and put so much effort into their kids, and then we as a society in general get to the point of selfishness whenever they get older and they need some help, that we're too busy, we can't handle it. And so it's an easy way out to put your elderly in a nursing home. And it breaks my heart that they spent so much time and so much effort into pouring into us. And then the minute things get hard, we turn our backs on them. And family is everything, you know. And I know some I know some people's families suck, but it's a fact of life. Not everybody in the family is, you know, always a great person. But you know, as far as my family goes, we are one that we're going to take care of each other no matter what. And I have a great deal of respect for my mom and my grandmother and my grandpa and my dad. So love your elders, take care of them.
Even if, and I'll say this, even if you've had your differences, we're commanded in the word to honor our mother and father. Without them, you wouldn't be here. And maybe they've made significant mistakes, terrible mistakes. Maybe what you can learn from them is what not to do rather than what to do. You can honor them without condoning actions that they've taken or things that they've said or decisions that they've made. So that's something that's an understanding that has brought me a lot of comfort over the years as well. And sometimes when you have a difficult situation to navigate with your elders, you still honor them. They've still been someplace that you've not been yet. And it requires a bit of compassion and some understanding from the heart that even if you don't condone the way this person acts or behaves or has behaved in the past, okay, cool. You can address that or not address it and move on. Deal in the here and now and the reality of the situation here and now. And it could even require forgiveness on your part. And that can be really difficult and really painful. But when you're holding on to things like that, when you're not forgiving somebody something from years ago, decades ago, half a lifetime ago,
right,
you're not killing them.
No.
With that, you're killing you. With that, it's affecting you much more than it ever is going to affect them. And as the song from Frozen goes, you gotta let it go. Let it go. Yeah, that's correct. That's correct. The cold never bothered me anyway. So man, oh, Lisa, don't worry. I got him.
Right.
Don't worry, Lisa. COVID. Oh, wait a minute. Nope. Oh my goodness. It's called family living. Bama Blue Eyes. Y'all got the onion ninjas going this AM. Not intentionally.
Tammy, it's on the website.
Hey, Jake, I know that I was missed last night. We announced last Tuesday that for scheduling reasons, we're not going to be doing Tactical Tuesday anymore, at least for the time being, but we are going to be doing Thursday live streams. And actually tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Central, we're going to be doing a small business and entrepreneurship Q&A live stream. And so we need to have a way, if you have questions, I'll probably put up a Patreon post today for your small business questions so that we can address some of those tomorrow. Or maybe we'll do it like we did last Tuesday. Yeah. With the Patreon comments. And then, yeah, because I like that metric. Vicky Fulkerson, bless you, sister. So we're going to be doing a live stream tomorrow. Coffee got cold. Coffee got cold? I don't know why. More coffee is always indicated. If I'm awake, the answer is yes.
You're welcome, Jeremy.
Amen.
It's funny how things just kind of come out that people need to hear sometimes.
That's the Holy Spirit.
Yeah.
It's the Ruach HaKodesh.
I mean, it's not really.
Yeah, you're saying what a coincidence.
Right.
So tomorrow at 7 p.m., we're going to be doing a small business and entrepreneurship Q&A. We talk a lot about preparedness here. We talk a lot about firearms and homesteading and all the things. And I think, first of all, the Tactical Tuesday questions are getting to the point where we're legitimately going to be developing a frequently asked questions, because some of the redundancy there can be overwhelming at times. Second of all, not everything that we do, and we use the phrase tactical almost as a tongue-in-cheek phrase. It's kind of a, haha, Tactical Tuesday. But a lot of what we do isn't tactical. And we have, between my wife and I, and in our camp especially, we have as much or more knowledge on business stuff than we do on preparedness stuff. And I've in no way been shy about the fact that work ethic and fiscal conservatism and business has been the metric that has allowed us to take our preparedness to the next level. And so if that information can be of a benefit to people, especially in the age of COVID, I think it's worth having that discussion. So, whoop, Mark Connor, thank you.
Don't be farting in the live stream.
That wasn't me. Truth hurts. Amen. Richard Thornton, bless you. Last Tuesday worked great. Stumps, roots, and shoots. I agree.
Yeah. It's a good one.
Rocked 4 miles last night. Headlamps and rucksacks. That sounds like a party, Andrew. I've played that game before. It's good to get your time in on your rucksack. Let it go. Let it go. What is this? A Gurkha Beauty? Where did this come? Matt Wagner, thank you. Hans, bless you. Hans has been here for a long time. I'm getting my blue belt in BJJ Friday, Justin. That is awesome. Put in the time, man. It's amazing, man. There's this biblical concept called you reap what you sow. And if you put in the time, all of a sudden good things happen. And I'm telling you, one of the things that people really take for granted and or misunderstand is momentum. Just keep going.
Right.
Just keep going. It's hard. Good. Keep going. I don't want to. Good. Keep going. I don't know if I'm going to keep going. Yeah, but what if keep going? But it hurts. Keep going. But I'm going to keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. It's, man, at some days you gain 100 yards in one play, and some days you're lucky to get 2 inches on the play. And some days you get knocked down and it's 4th down and 25 and you're like, there's no way.
Or you get pushed back 10 yards.
Keep going.
Right.
Keep going. Keep going. And it's this incredible thing happens where you build up momentum. Momentum matters. You just keep going. When you have, and the expertise that you gain from continuing to go, from doing, is incredible. It's an incredible thing. You learn while you're doing. I learned from doing. I'm a tactile kinesthetic learner. If I can do it with my hands, I got it. I also have kind of a freaky brain. I have a very mathematical brain. And so like with drumming, drums is math done in the physical plane. It's very fractional drumming. And if I play a song 3 times, whether it's the easiest worship song you ever heard or the hardest technical death metal song that you ever heard, if I play it 3 times, if I nail that song 3 times in a row, 1, 2, 3, I play it 3 times in a row, I own it. It's mine now. It's in here. It becomes muscle memory. There's what's called automaticity. I can do it now. It's embedded in the wrinkles of my gray matter. but that comes from doing it. I can listen to it. I can study the sheet music. I can think about it. I can plan to go to it. Doesn't matter until I do it. Once I do it, I do it. I'm never going to have to think about how to hang a gate again because I've done it so many times, or how to tie, field fence to T-posts, or how to frame a house, or how to run a chainsaw, or how to butcher a sheep, like just from doing it. And so you just keep going. Even if you only get a half an inch on today, okay, that's a half an inch you didn't have yesterday. You just keep going.
Ooh. My toes are about to fall off.
And I'll balance that. I'll balance that statement with this. Some days you might need to rage quit for a day. Some days it might get a little overwhelming, and that's the balance between selfishness and selflessness. And also, so we observe the Sabbath, right? We take what the world considers Saturday off because the Father tells us to. And amazing, if you do what he tells you to do, it things tend to work out for you. So we observe the Sabbath. Take a day off. And there's really 3 basic commands on the Sabbath. Do no work. Okay, got it. Nobody else does any work. Got it. And rest. Cool. Yes, sir. But then also there's going to be days where, for example, I am a workaholic, like classical workaholic, like legitimately been diagnosed as a workaholic.
He's still live streaming.
I'm still live streaming 2.5 hours later.
It's too cold to do anything else.
Damn it, woman. So I'm a classic workaholic that also suffers from overwhelm. So sometimes I will make so much work for myself that I get overwhelmed, and then I've got to rage quit for a day and go spend some time in the woods, or go play my drums, or go check into a hotel and spend some time alone. Or whatever, and get some detachment. And so that's a micro thing. And it comes back to the selflessness versus selfishness. And this is what I call positions of strength. If you're not good, if you're not in a position of strength, if you're not selfish enough to make sure that you're good, you cannot be selfless and take care of everybody else, or handle all the other business things, or do whatever it is that needs to get done. And so you have to strike a balance. And believe me, I'm the last person on earth that really needs to pontificate on work-life balance, because I don't have one. I just bounce back and forth between the two, work and life, and work and life, and work and life, and work and life. You have to have a balance between the two. Otherwise, you can get overwhelmed. And so sometimes your just keep going needs to be focused on you rather than everything else around you, so that you can be in a position of strength, so that you can continue to do the things. So rage quitting is the best.
Mark Chase said you must have got frozen to the chair.
I got frozen to the chair.
Yeah.
That's what happened. Justin Nickerson, that's awesome. I know it's a weird question, but have you done a video on y'all's outhouse configuration? Not yet. We haven't, because the configuration of the outhouse hasn't changed since October, because life happened. So the next thing to happen on the outhouse, and we've been tracking on the, I think we've done a few videos on Patreon on the outhouse, on like the foundation and the framing. And so the next thing that we got to do is finish the electrical and the plumbing inside of there, and then put the siding on it, and then it's essentially good to go. But yeah, we'll be talking more about that as well. So
Yeah, as Dory says, from Finding Nemo,
just keep swimming. Yep. From the sporting goods store. Yes, that's an outhouse from the sporting goods store. You caught me. Can't shame me. Yeah, still going. Outhouse OPSEC.
I like that the users of the outhouse can still see the live stream and be part of coffee time.
Oh my gosh, I just accidentally knocked my slipper off my foot.
I know.
It's so cold. I'm also thinking that porch right there.
We're not in the negative 40s, but
Yeah.
it's cold.
It's all right. 713.7. I'm just messing with you. Operation Doo-Doo. I'm thinking that next to Coat, we're going to have live entertainment on the stage that is the front porch of the outhouse as well.
Yeah.
So, and we're actually at this point, I think, going to do an addition on the back side of it as well. And that addition is going to be like half storage, just kind of like a loafing shed for peat moss and whatever else required for the composting toilets. Freezing rain over here, yo. Yeah, it's headed our way anytime. And then the other half of that addition is going to be a laundromat, since we have gray water over there, we've got clean water, and we've got power. One of the things that's nice to have in the camp is like, if we had 2 washers and 2 dryers over there, one less thing to worry about, right? One less thing to worry about. So, and the whole idea here is when this thing is finally done, we are going to have distributed solar power and rainwater collection, distributed rainwater collection at the barn, at the house, at the outhouse, at the chicken coop, at the gazebo, and at the cabin that's being built in the cove down there. And so, yeah, that's the idea. Make our
Xavier live from the porch.
Xavier live from the porch. I think that's more like Xavier half dead from the porch. Yeah. The Xavier live stream. Check his pulse. He's still breathing. So yeah, laundromat for real. I'm gonna get a couple of coin op washers and dryers and put them out there with a change machine. Be like the company store.
Shalom, be oily.
What's up, Be Oily? Have a 5 kilowatt wind turbine that needs to go up as soon as the ground thaws. That's awesome, Jay Morris. I know a thing or two about 5 kWs. Did you get a Skystream or an Xeris, or who's that? Oh, I can see them. Who makes that? Gosh, they've been in the game for a long time. Berkey? Bergy. I think it's Bergy.
I gotta go get some socks.
You want to turn that on, please?
I mean, that he's from the waist up, but it's my, I'm covered up there, but my feet.
Yeah. Is it a Bergy? Jay Morris, who makes your turbine? 24-hour live stream today. I don't know about that. A Bergy. Bergies are good. They've been in the game for a long time. They're very simplistic, which is a good thing. There's Kinney, Texas, at a Walmart there that some snake oil salesman of a wind turbine guy sold them a 10 kilowatt Bergy. And I went and looked at it, and I'm like, bro, at the time I was like, Bergy doesn't make a 10 kilowatt. That's a 5 kilowatt. And they're like, no, it's a 10 kilowatt. I said, son, come here. Look at this website. Look at the website. Here's the Bergy website. There's your turbine. Look at it. They don't make a 10. They're like, son of a. I said, yeah, you need to call that guy and get some money back. That ain't a 10 kilowatt. It's a 5 kilowatt. The Bergies are good. Bergies are good. No, the tactical toddler is inside on the couch with the sniffles. She keeps going, Dad, I'm sick. I'm like, you're not that sick. You're gonna make it. You have sniffles. You'll be okay. She's like, I know, but I'm sick. Yeah, you'll be all right, kid. Negative 45 degrees Celsius out today. Still cutting trees and brush. Better than you than me, man. You have fun with that salty Canuck. You gonna die. Don't die.
Zero wind.
Yeah. Zero wind. Herkimer. Jason Larimore, bless you. All praise to the Father, man. I've said this, I don't know, 1,000 times. If you see anything good in me, it's not because I'm awesome. It's because the Father's awesome. If he has figured out how to use this for good, he can definitely figure out how to use you for good. If you simply say, hey, I'm here, Father, use me, he will. You have a wealth of knowledge. That's why you can talk for a long time. I appreciate that. That just comes from doing things, man. I read a lot of books, but like I said, I don't feel like I truly understand something until I've done it. And that kind of gets back to like in the wind industry. I don't know how many times we get a set of prints for a job, and poor engineers. I have a love-hate relationship with engineers. I love y'all, but I hate some of the plans you draw. You get out into the field and you're like, yeah, this is a hard nope. That ain't going to happen. They're like, well, according to the ASTM, the specification says that. I'm like, it's not going to happen. This is a swamp. Well, the geotechnical did not say that there was a swamp. It's a swamp here. We're going to have to do something different. So I've done a lot of what's called as built. So you have as drawn and as built. And as built means we're going to do a workaround on this. And so you have to. So my point here is I have the drawings. I have the book. I understand what the paper says. But then when you get out and do it, it's like, oh, this is a whole nother ball game. If you think about when you are, say, leveling a wind turbine, if this is your turbine tower, okay, we have 5/1000ths of a degree that it can be out of truly plumb. And you have to check that with a digital level all the way, a Mitsuyoto or Mitsuyoto or whatever it is, minimum $600 digital level that has to be perfectly calibrated, blah, 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 blah. And you have to check it on all four sides and then shim and adjust in the whole nine and get that tower section set perfectly. This is on utility scale wind. On small wind, it matters less. But if you're doing a monopole tower, yeah, blah, blah, blah. I'll jump in all the blah, blah, blahs later. But 5/1000ths of an inch, you look at that on the specification and you're like, huh, that's pretty tight. And then you go do it with a 60-ton piece of steel that's got 288 nuts underneath it that you got to take a 2-foot-long crescent wrench and just adjust it just a little bit and just get it all in. Boom. Don't even sneeze at it. Okay, torque those nuts down and get it all nice and tight. And yep, there it is. And then you have to grout the space in between the bottom of the lip and the pad, and that, okay, it's set. It's within 5/1000ths of an inch. It's one thing to see that on a piece of paper. It's another thing to go do it. When we put up 120-foot tall highline structures for running the wires cross country, they give us a 1/16 of an inch out of level on the 4 piers that hold that thing. I got a 1/16 of an inch over 120 feet. It's a big deal, dude. That is, I guarantee you go look in your house. I guarantee you there's nothing in there that's level to a 1/16 of an inch over probably 8 feet the way houses are built today, let alone 120 feet.
Oh gosh, we've seen some.
Yeah, there's some real abominations out there. So my point is that for me, once I do things, like I said, then I own them. I have to have that physical, visceral, tactile engagement with the subject matter, and then it sticks. But it's not until I do it that I truly understand it. Because like I said, it's one thing to look at the prints and go, 1/16 of an inch over a 120-foot structure, man, that's something. Oh, it's a whole nother story to go do it. But then once you do it, I'm telling you, the first 10 towers you do, It's a pain in the ass. After that, you start to get a feel for it. And instead of doing one every 2 days, you're doing 2 a day. Right? That gets back to the momentum thing. Just keep going. Learn how to do it. Keep doing the things. Angry Daddy Shaloha isn't a square corner in my house. Seen a lot of them too.
We got a bunch of
Amen, Tabar.
newcomers coming in. Do you want to tell them about that?
A bunch of newcomers in the chat.
Well,
Stop, shoots and shoots. Cabin. Yeah.
yeah.
I'm telling you, y'all need to do a whole series. A great video would be expectation versus reality for buying a shed and turning it into a house.
Right. That'd be a great video, Renee.
A phenomenal video, because so many people do that or want to do that or have done it, and there's so many lessons learned, and that the expectation was like, we'll get it, and then man, in a couple of weeks we'll be living in it.
Right.
Not so much.
Mhm.
So, all right. So you wanted me to tell the new people about this?
Yeah.
Okay. So for today and today only, you can use promo code CUBPRO, CUBPRO,
All one word.
all
Put it
one
together.
word, at Refuge Medical or Bear Independent, and you can get a Cub Pro for 20% off today only. All the colors are in stock, limited availability on navy blue and gray, but the black, the red, the OD tan, or I'm sorry, the OD green and the Coyote tan are all good to go. Got lots of them in stock. This is the Cub Pro kit. It's incredibly reasonably priced, especially when you add 20% on top of it. It's in an EMT ripaway pouch, so it just deploys like that. You can put this on your war belt, on your chest rig, on the headrest of your car, wherever you need a first aid kit. The Cub Pro has a lot of capability in it. You got a Gen 7 cat tourniquet on the outside. You've got your 7 1/4 inch North American Rescue shears on the outside right here as well. You pop this kit open like so. And then, so like I said, you got a Gen 7 cat tourniquet here and a SWAT T tourniquet down here in the bottom for your arterial bleeds and your extremities. For wound packing in your junctional areas, you've got compressed gauze here. You've got your quick clot gauze here. And then in the back, right here, you got a 4-inch fold flat emergency trauma dressing. What? So you got a fold flat trauma dressing right there. You've got 2 5x9 gauze pads as well stuffed in here. So if you need to make an additional pressure dressing with the SWAT T, you can do that. And then you've got duct tape. You've got nitrile gloves right here, because if it's wet and not yours, don't touch it. You've got your nasopharyngeal airway right here. And then you've got 2 compact hyphen chest seals in the back. So this handles arterial bleeding with tourniquets and with wound packing, pressure bandages, superficial bleeds, with duct tape and the 5x9s, your airway and respiratory with the chest seals, all in a compact package. And it's available at bearindependent.com, refugemedical.com. These are HSA and FSA eligible. So if you have a flexible spending account or a health savings account, you can use that on these kits. You get 20% off on this today only. Promo code is CUBPRO, CUBPRO. And you can use promo code BEARNATION for 10% off everything else in the store other than training, but you can't combine promo codes. So if you want to get 1 or 2 or 10 Cub Pros, today's the day to use it. Use promo kit Cub Pro, execute that order, and then if you want 10% off a stomp bag or a t-shirt or a sticker or whatever, you can use promo code Bear Nation every day of the week, 24/7, 365 for y'all in the Bear Nation at the store. So yeah. Anything I missed?
Nope.
Honey? Okay.
I think you're good.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Shalom, Rain Cat.
What's up, Brain Cat? I hear a lamb.
That would fit right in the old saddlebags. Yes, it would.
Yes, it would. Looking forward to the stomp bag. Amen. I love the stomp bag. I should have my bear fag by the end of the week. Yep.
I know we're running 1 week out. Like, I'm gonna miss a couple of days at the office because, you know, ice and cold. But we are, I think I stopped at February 3rd yesterday. So we're running current, y'all. We're running current.
Yep. Somebody asked for a lamb baby update, and then somebody also said, what else do I have going on today, Bear? Staying close to the house today because of ice and snow and all that. I do need to go check on something. It's a quick truck ride from here. That'll give me some good intel on what's actually happening out there in the world. So I'll be doing that shortly. Got a couple of calls to make. Other than that, just, you know, a very laid back schedule for me. Usually I'm all over the place doing all the things on the phone, on the interwebs, all at the same time. So Adamish or Atomish, yeah, I saw your comment. I don't have any more details other than what you said. So the governor in Florida needs help. He's standing up to big tech. Roger. There you go.
Yes. And that's the thing, like, especially nowadays.
Excuse me.
If you find particularly a politician that is standing up to some of the atrocities that are going on, absolutely support that politician. And on the flip side, if you have politicians that are making the atrocities, stand up to that politician. Let your voices be heard.
Thank you, AK Mudslinger.
It starts at the local level and works its way up. So,
Rob Jolly, we have a class coming up in Nashville. We will have a class coming up in Indianapolis, which is about 3 hours from Chicago, and 3 hours from Columbus, and 3 hours from St. Louis, and 0 hours from Indianapolis because it's in Indianapolis. So if you're in the Indy area or within a few hours of Indy, look out for that class coming as well. Prayers. I'm going to endocrinologist for cysts on my thyroid. Father Yah, let your will be done with our sister Be Oily. In Yeshua's name, amen. So,
yeah, we have Indy and Marietta, Georgia.
Yep.
And then Nashville right now.
And the Indy and Marietta are not up yet on the store, but they will be.
They will be soon as plans get finalized.
So yeah, so if you're within those areas, keep an eye out. And I'm telling you, if you're within 3 or 4 hours of the class, you should probably come to that class that's within 3 or 4 hours of you, because we don't do classes that are, you know, I'm not doing one that's in Indianapolis and then one that's in Chicago and then one that's in St. Louis and then one that's in Columbus. I'm going to do one in Indianapolis and hopefully draw from all of those 4 cities in that area. Right. Because we just don't have the bandwidth to do that many classes in that many different places. So it's different when a department calls us. Let's say Chicago PD calls and says, hey, we want some classes. That's different because we know that we're going to be going there to a full classroom rather than hoping that, you know, if we do a class in Indy, Chicago, Columbus, and St. Louis, rather than hoping that we have a full class in each place, we're not big enough to absorb the economic impact if we don't have a full class in each place. Plus, even if we were big enough to absorb the economic impact of that, it would be bad business to go and be doing a bunch of half full or mostly empty classes in each of those places. Right. So awesome, Rich. Yes, Bama Buckeye. Shalom and good morning. There will be more level 2 classes coming, and I will be posting the availability of those as they are scheduled. We're working with our training cadre right now to get more and more classes put up. So,
Any chance you will do a class in California? No. So that's the thing, y'all. Like, we will carry sidearms. So if you live in a state that does not have friendly sidearm laws, we are not going there. So
Become a felon to teach a class.
right.
yeah. And so several of our instructors are law enforcement officers. And so there's a federal statute called LEOSA, which allows commissioned law enforcement officers to carry firearms essentially everywhere. And so those individuals could go to places like that to train. However, those individuals are very like-minded with us. And so if they say, I don't want to go to Cali, they're not going to Cali. Or if I don't want to go to Chicago, they're not going to Chicago.
Right.
We don't have a date for Indy yet. So we'll let you know when we do. How about mask mandatory? No, our classes are not mask mandatory.
And we will not go to a state that is mask mandatory.
So, any idea on when? I don't know on the Indy classes yet, but believe me, the moment I do, we will announce it.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. Seattle, nope. Canada, no, we can't even get into Canada because we have to have negative COVID tests, and then it's a mess. It's a mess at the border right now.
Mm-hmm.
You're welcome, Jason.
How many slots in your classes? So typically with 4-hour classes, we do 2 of those in one day. And each class, we generally slot for 25 people. So 50 people total in a day. And that's something to note too. If you have a MAG or a local militia or a local group, or you just have a really big family, and you would like to get training for your people, and you have 25 to 50 people, write us. Let us know. We can talk to you about scheduling basically a private class.
Yeah, and we do that regularly. And so, Britt, no, it's 25 people per class. And
Right.
So you don't have to get 50 people. 25 people would be more than adequate. And a lot of times, it's not just your MAG or your department. It's also many times churches or small to medium-sized businesses or county emergency teams.
Volunteer
Yep.
departments.
So, yeah, it's not just the local police department, the sheriff's office, or the 10th Mountain Division. Thanks, Bossman. Subscribe for you on Patreon. Bless you, Truth Hurts. Thank you very much. Yeah, we got a lot of good stuff going on Patreon. I think the vast majority of people that come over to Patreon are very happy that they have done that, because there's a mountain of content that lives there that never sees the light of day here. And I mean, if you hate it, it's $1. I'm sorry, it's $1, and if you don't hate it, it's $1, man. It's $1 to get started. We have a massive, oh my gosh, the $5 loot box is massive. So plate carrier, placard, cummerbund, day pack, a mini stomp bag, a bare minimum, all in multicam, and a brain bucket by Billy is the next $5 and up loot box. And we'll be doing that the end of this month. And so you need to be signed up at the $5 level or above in order to qualify to have your name drawn in that. And I'm telling you, you're talking a couple $1,000s worth of gear easily right there. Jason Larimore, bless you. Thank you, Bama. Thank you, Bama. So, you know, that in of itself, to me, that's worth, I can't wait to win it. You might have a conflict of interest, bro. To me, it's worth a $5 roll of the dice for a couple $1,000s worth of gear.
No,
No, that's a
another
different
chicken.
porch chicken.
You have no bullets. Stop. Not in front of my face. Is there
Roger Mouse. That's all good, tactically, Torah.
Is there a particular video we got to comment on for this time around?
There will be. It's not out yet, and you will see it on Patreon, and it'll be posted only for the $5 and up tiers. So only those who are eligible to enter will see it. No, that is not an airsoft gun. It is a paintball marker, aka a chicken deterrent device. A CDD.
All the chickens are going crazy.
Are those paintballs froze yet? Oh yeah.
Yeah, their waist frozen.
Yep. Live stream telethon 2021. Yeah, I do have things I got to do today.
I know.
So
You just keep going.
yeah. All right. Well, so be it. Promo code Cub Pro today only. 20% off your Cub Pros. Promo code Bear Nation for 10% off everything else at bearindependent.com and refugemedical.com. Did you make Cub Pro for both sites?
Yeah.
Good job. Good job. So we appreciate you guys and girls so much. Thank you for hanging out with us. I really appreciate your feedback on what the show should look like in the days ahead, and I'm definitely going to onboard that. Please tune in tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Central for small business question and answer session, entrepreneurship stuff. And yeah.
We'll be back.
I hear precipitation.
Yeah. Yes.
From Numbers,
Freezing sprinkler.
chapter 6. And Yahuwah spoke to Moshe, saying, speak to Aaron and his sons, saying, this is how you bless the children of Israel. Say to them, Yahuwah bless you and guard you. Yahuwah make his face to shine upon you and show favor to you. Yahuwah lift up his face upon you and give you peace. Thus they shall put my name on the children of Israel, and I myself shall bless them. Bless y'all, Bear Nation. We love you guys and girls. Thank you for your support. It means the world to us. And we'll see y'all tomorrow night. Shalom.
Hello.